The exiled Luggage Tamer awakens as the world's only necromancer. Ch 1-50. Story-recon, mapping, carrying baggage, cooking, keeping watch, taking blows. Even while doing all these things, the Tamer, Randall, is called a burden and useless by his party members. Randall belongs to an more recon, mapping, carrying baggage, cooking, keeping watch, taking blows. Even while doing all these things, the Tamer, Randall, is called a burden and useless by his party members. Randall belongs to an S-ranked party, the strongest and the most well-known in the land. Excellent at both attacking and defending, while also guiding the party as its charismatic leader, the swordsman Feed. The genius magician who graduated top of her class from the greatest magic academy in the country, male. Also known as the country's shield, the former knight leader, head knight Lloyd. A famous head priest while also being the youngest saint of miracles, Queller. Showing extraordinary drive and teamwork while surpassing their original capabilities, they immediately became some of the most famous names in the country, expected as the stars of the guild to continue their heroic actions. On the other hand, Randall was ridiculed as a burden who was only in the party because he was Feed's childhood friend. The party's dissatisfaction was all focused on Randall. But the abnormal Tamer named Randall is actually gaining influence around the world. Unappreciated by his fellow party members, scapegoated by them and pushed away, the story of revenge as he becomes the strongest necromancer and unlocks his true power. Back 1001's rank party. Luggage illustrated, Fade the swordsman, an excellent offender and a leader who binds the party due to his charisma. Male, a genius sorcerer who graduated from one of the highest magic schools in the country with the highest grades in history. Former chief of the strongest knights, Heavy Knight Roig, also regarded as the shield of the kingdom. Queera, the youngest yet miraculous virgin and the prestigious supreme cleric. And the party baggage, Tamer's me, Rand. Certainly compared to the four talented people, I'm afraid the average person was a good place too. Just because Fade's childhood is familiar takes the form of being at a party, and I knew very well myself that and the limits were close already. Fade. How long are you going to keep him spoiled? Roig's rough voice echoes from the next room. There are always 3 rooms in the accommodation. Fade and Roig in the men's room. Male and Queller in the women's room. And the other is stables and storage huts, my room. By the nature of Tamer, the user demon always sticks with him. In the beginning I was provided with a bed too, but at some point my treatment became the same as that of the user demon. Well, that's good, but this is how they stopped calling me until all 4 of us were gathered in one room. I miss you. Come. Ray the one-horned wolf was licking me to comfort me. Usually he's the best partner out there, buying a party member's luggage and a war roll with me on it in battle. I still didn't fail to be on my perimeter alert, enough to skip directions to the werewolf demons that were nearby. Wow, 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 wow. Look, look. That dog's so loud, we can't even go to bed. It doesn't seem to convey this meaning to Roig at all. Even I want to do something. What followed was Fade's voice. I knew Fade didn't think much of me anymore either. Still, the 2 women at the party have a big opinion not to kick me out of the party. Mr. Rand is doing the best he can. Unilaterally kicking out is still. Rand is a good one. It gives me rice, Queera and Male say respectively. As for Male, it was a little bit of an assessment that people who give me food are good people because there are places like animals. In short, it was by Queera's merciful heart that I could be here right now. Damn. Okay, we're going to bed today. Oh, tomorrow is finally a dungeon of divine annihilation. A dungeon that also destroys God. So, let's get you in the mood. Fun. I hear people moving next door. Hey, Rand, you're hearing me. The next time you rattle that dog, it's just not gonna happen. Roig was screaming this way because tonight's vigilance seemed necessary without company. Since when has this happened? It's been a while since I was told about the party luggage, but I think I've done quite a bit of work. Enemy alert, luggage carrying, scouts. Thanks to Tame, I can do a lot. I had intended to contribute as a convenience store for that matter, but for that matter, pure combat ability was preventing me from keeping up with the 4. It seemed like I was the only one who thought so, because the experience I could get would be different. I don't know what else to do. Only Ray, who forgives his heart, was licking my cheek to comfort him. When the next dungeon was over, I somehow knew I couldn't be at this party anymore. 2002 party ratings. Okay, finally, a dungeon of God's annihilation. Nobody's ever had a trespasser dungeon. Let's get tempered. God bless you all. But the God, is he alive? God is in your hearts. I'm not in the wheel to speak freely because you're not bluffing. If you can't even hold that luggage, you must finally be where you are. Rand. Sorry, but hurry up. We can't keep pace with Rand anymore. It was something you could keep all your stuff pressed and say whatever you wanted. Sort of. I stroke Ray's head and get in the mood. Because Ray has more than half of it. Okay, let's go. We're not late. How dare you follow me? Dungeons of Divine Extinction. It's a mysterious dungeon that the S-rank party has always tried and lost. There are also rumors that Minotaur, who boasts unparalleled strength as a standalone organism at the point of the 5th tier, has emerged as a floor boss, beyond which is unknown. I wouldn't be able to afford to think of the fades today. The anticipation was generous. In fact, the scene of forced struggle continued shortly after the start of the offensive. Damn. Why is there a demon coming from here? I was in the lead with my enemies, but the demons and traps had hit the party even after I passed by. Hey Rand. I'm not skipping. Not if you're saying that now. Ugh. Already depressing. Fade and I get eyes on each other as the three fight. Rand. I'm not telling you to take him down. All you have to do is make a discovery and report back to me. So, oh, I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying. I'm going first with Ray. I'm not skipping either, of course, and if you think normally in the first place, you'll be leading the way. I know it's impossible for us to be safe and for the people behind us to struggle. In short, it's something that this dungeon needs to recognize as potentially dangerous across 360 degrees, but Fade, who's under a lot of stress for me, doesn't admit it. Then you should decide to focus on looking, including that trap. Damn. If you can't use it. Easy, Roig. But I do have to think about it a little bit. With their voices on their backs, they managed to move on with the dungeon. There were still multiple cases of demons and traps appearing behind me after that, but I think I could crush quite a few ahead of time. This effort never passed on to the party members behind it. I can't use it till the end. Damn. Fair enough. Mr. Rand was doing the best he could. Sadly, even Queera, who can be described as the conscience of the party, was this. Fine. Finally, boss fight. Okay, from here on out, I'll change the formation. Fade's voice makes me fall back. The avant-garde of the party is Roig in battle, and I'm going to do hate control so the target doesn't focus too much on Roig. Roig, as usual, make me a stash of Male's attacks. I'll show you what I mean by avant-garde. Roig yelled at me to look at me openly and provoke me. I'm turning to play. Quello asks you to follow me and Roig. Okay. Alright, let's go. There was no voice for me, and the Fade stepped in between the floor bosses. Go. Ray. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, it didn't even seem like we were allowed to have a temper. 3003, become stupid. The moment we got in between the floor bosses, the Fade solidified. Fade isn't the only one, all the party members, they were solidified. Hey. The boss here talked about Minotaur. This is the Dungeon of God's Annihilation. There was a reason why the face-to-face look of the next brave party combined with strength distorted into fear. There are 5 Minotaurs. We're getting away. He said he was running away. Whoa. We're the target of these geese more than we've gotten between floor bosses. If you can get through the 5 tiers, you'll be fine. If you run away until then. 5 on a boulder. I can't. Minotaur? The worst demon that has ever butchered a number of powerful adventurers with its overwhelming physical attack power. A demon considered to be the highest level of class A danger. It's a monster that even some adventurers don't want to fight more than dragons. If that's as many as 5, how the S-rank parties, the Fades, will have to hit the run hand. Run anyway. Fade. What do you do with your luggage? Speak up to Fade, who ran out. For once, I let Ray hold my stuff, but without this, if Ray's speed, I can get 2 or so people on board and get away with it. You bet. You're dead. But your stuff is great. What are you talking about? I can't believe I'm talking about luggage now. Now more than that, run. I don't get my opinions together. In the meantime, I managed to run with heavy baggage for 5 people. Naturally, if I did that, I'd slow down. But I decided to work hard for the party for once. Damn. Something wrong? May, you're a genius. What did they say? Roig screams as he runs. Mail also answered in her usual pale tone, out of breath. 1. It will help if you die. I felt that the gaze was naturally right for me. Ha. Good for you. There's just the right one. What? Are you serious? Yes, Mr. Roig, whatever it takes. Bye, Queera. Are you going to die? That's all I'm sorry to say, but still. Queera stared at me clearly. Damn. What the fuck are these guys? Seriously trying to get away with using me as bait? We need to do something. The 3 people I was talking to while I was doing that were running away with me more and more. Rand, I'll be honest, once I broke through this dungeon, you were already going to get me out of the party. That's not surprising because somehow I thought it was. But why now? But Rand, if you're going to be active here, I'm going to rethink that idea. Active? Me and Ray are already behind because of our luggage. I was wondering if fate had come to my lord as a party leader for once. But apparently that's not what happened. God damn it. Ray, it's no use. There's no way you can beat me, the next brave man. Haha. I managed to reach out to Ray to escape, but I didn't make it. It's for everyone. Fade's sword pattern pierces my belly. I can't breathe, and of course, my legs stopped. Don't feel bad. I've rather been feeding you in your luggage so far. Fade adds as he leaves. Now you're going to die a legend, staying at the S-rank party. Don't worry. Your work will be well spread. Wait. No, not even a voice. Damn. The Minotaurs are approaching there soon. I did it for real. But I was already beginning to wonder if it mattered. You tried to banish me, Fade. You betrayed me. Roig, who originally kept feeling bad about me. There was only a degree of recognition of the cook, Mail. And even Quayla, who cared for me for once, knows very well from the last look on her face that she thought she was a luggage clerk who couldn't use me. In short, nobody was looking at me. It was not recognized by anyone. He didn't need my efforts, my work, all of that, for those guys. When I thought of it that way, the thought of the Minotaurs catching up with Ashura came to mind if they were likely hit here without resistance. It must be because of my broken feelings. The fatigue that was hitting the guard around the inn without sleeping struck my body all at once. Enough. Let's go to sleep. It was when I thought so. Exclamation mark GWWWWWWWWWW. Ray, in front of me stopping. Ray was flipping and attacking Minotaur. 4004 Gar GWWWWWWWWWWWW Cura Gar Ray. Wait, don't. Why? A unicorn wolf is a B-rank demon. He's not a really good partner for me. But, of course, you can't possibly be against Minotaur. Not to mention challenging Minotaur, who was 5. And he can't be safe. Stop it. Stop it. You're the only one who can get away with this. Ravaged in front of you, buddy. Wait. How could you? Ray came running around for a while to send the attack, but he was finally captured by the rigid arms of Minotaur. Ray. Minotaur's hand axe is sucked into Ray's head, and ruthlessly the axe was waved down. Ray. No, 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 no. No. Ray. I was running into Ray by accident. I don't think Minotaur was in my eyes either. That much. Now, I wanted to be by Ray's side. Ray. The last moment. Minotaur's swinging axe looked like slow motion. I'm sorry. I'll be right there. I closed my eyes as I hugged Ray, who stopped moving. But always, the last moment I waited for never came. Ray. There was a strange sight when I opened my eyes. Ray, who was supposed to be dead, was playing the Minotaur axe, biting and pulling on the whole neck of the Minotaur over it. Gumo. That was the end of Minotaur? But weird. Sure, Ray says he's in my arms. Why is Ray over there too? Gumo. Cure. GWWWWWWWWW. Something like Ray's division boasted an overwhelming strength. Minotaur's attack and so on, as if by accident, had attacked the steeple precisely and slaughtered the Minotaur once again. And the last one, Cura, Button, and the Minotaur giant were falling to the ground in the dungeon. 5005. What the hell? It was then, some voice crept into my head with a severe headache. Necromance mastery conditions met. It opens the power of the necromancer. The opening of power has made Ray available for service. Tamer's ability, demon absorption. Micro, upgrades to Necromancer's absorption, Demon absorption. All. We've absorbed Ray's abilities, absorbed Minotaur's 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 abilities. Your status has increased significantly. Tamer's abilities and enhanced user demons have greatly increased Ray's status. What is this? Ray was licking me, worried about the pepper. Ray, right? You. Whoa. If you look closely at Ray, who replies well. Unlike the ray I was holding, its body was clear. This is wow, apostrophe. But shaking my tail with joy was Ray himself in his lifetime. Except that your body is transparent and floating, if you look closely. Wait. There was a voice called Minotaur. Gumo. Wow. Surprised, a clear body was emerging from Minotaur's body to respond to the call. Maybe you guys are going to be like Ray too. Gumo. But Minotaur's clear body somehow blended into my body like a lump of light. Is this absorption? Tamer had characteristics that increased his stats to some extent depending on the powers of the user demons he served. Perhaps this is the one called absorption. Micro. What is it? I thoroughly kicked the wall that was close to trying it out. Dogen. There was a beautiful foot-shaped hole in the dungeon wall. I didn't know it was this far. No, well, this is what happens if you have 5 Minotaurs. He said absorption of abilities, but it doesn't mean Ray's power is gone at all. Sounds more like sharing than absorption. Is that the Minotaur gone? Is it another condition to serve? Whatever it is, we defeated Minotaur, who was the floor boss of this dungeon. Alive. That's not all. There is also a feeling of great strength. The loss of Ray was a shock, but thus a necromancer. It also makes me feel good not to worry too much about being able to serve as long as I see Ray himself in this appearance. I'm still shaking my tail and squirming around. Then, wouldn't this be your luggage at that party? It was that member's face that came to mind. Cursed, sacrificed, nearly killed. No, think calmly. That party would be a wish from this side. A dungeon without a Minotaur would pull you out of it altogether. And you're probably talking about something you've never pretended to mourn my death in an Alliance liquor store by now. All right. Let's tell them it's a wish from here after I've returned all this stuff. Exactly. We also need to tell the Alliance the truth at last. Would the rank come from around? See, if we were to work solo through the party, that could be a good too. Try to live freely. Wong. I stroked Ray for responding and decided on my next policy. 6006. The bodies of the Minotaurs are valuable material. I don't want Ray's body to stay like this either. How do you carry? I've left it all to Ray until now, but can you do that with this body? That voice echoed in my head again. If I thought so. Skill Reaper's coffin mastery condition met. The Necromancer's coffin. Wong. Clairvoyant Ray dared to return the entity Ray. Oh, you touch it? No, well, because I was caressed. Right. But that's some strange sight. You mean use it? Okay. Necromancer's coffin. As soon as he chanted consciously, Ray's body disappeared into the void to be sucked in. You mean skills right now? Try it. Necromancer's coffin. Now I'll chant consciously about putting my hands together. Oh. Soon afterwards Ray's body was summoned as Pong in front of him. This is handy. Wong. Oh. It means you can take Minotaur with you. 5 Minotaurs soon disappeared by their skills. Can you even use this for luggage? Coffin of the Necromancer. There was no reaction to what I tried. Can't you? Minotaur is now available for service. Gumo. A Minotaur was suddenly appearing in front of me. This guy's body is clear, too. I see. You mean you'll carry me? Gumo. He was carrying everything up to the luggage I was carrying because he was a bigger body than Ray. Wow. Even so, Minotaur is amazingly luxurious to have luggage. Oh. If we're gonna talk like this, should we give it a name? Gumo. A Minotaur sounds heartless or happy, right? How about an ace? Gumo. Ooh. Looks like you're happy for me. And that voice echoed in my head again. The status of ace, Minotaur, has been greatly increased by the use of demon enhancement. I see. You should start serving and name it. In the meantime, I guess this has made Ace stronger too. From where Ray was single-handedly completing the 5 Minotaurs, I feel good to assume that they are just getting stronger by becoming spiritual bodies. Let's just go home. Wong. Gumo. Oh, it's been a crazy party, but we'll be on our way home. The party was less than the way to go. But still, The footprint is much lighter than the way to go. I don't know what to do. Right here. You want to report to the guild first. Kun. Gumo, I don't know if you know or not. Two people respond. What will we do after that? Necromancer, I wonder if it was. Is there anything else? Kun, I've seen a few Tamers, but Necromancer was the first job title I've heard of. You can look for your people, you can do it solo. What do you guys want? We go through the dungeon talking about that. Thanks to the two stronger ones, they were coming out without struggling at all. On the contrary, can we come here and attack again? Survive the dungeon while inflating your dreams. Well, first of all, you have to go to those guys who almost killed me. I don't want to retaliate, but I need to return something, and I need to go and make sure I report it. It might be interesting to go for a brave man. Started a strange journey with the two of them as they put their heads around the various possibilities. 7007 Unexpected struggle, party perspective. Damn. Why are demons coming out so far on the way home? Roig and I will put up an avant-garde. Male. Queera. Cover me. No. Mr. Fade, please stay back. Why? If only I had protected it before. Heck. The Fade's party, which escaped to the 4th tier at the expense of Rand, had forced an unexpected struggle on the way home. This dungeon isn't just from before. Demons appear from all sides, but it's more overwhelming up front. But you won't be able to get back on your feet in a situation where there's no protection behind you. Knock. Queera was feeling it, screaming about how much of an obstacle trap poor demon Rand was defeating on the road when he was told he was running late. I never thought I'd struggle so hard in a hierarchy other than floor bosses. Mr. Rand, I just noticed it's a late festival. This was where Male felt a tingle, too. Roig, hate control. Bad. Uck. The numbers are the numbers. You can't help it. Sure, there's a number problem, as Roig says. But how well Rand had control of Roig's cluttered hate management. It was also well conveyed to Male behind him. Damn. I didn't know you'd struggle here. Damn it. I know this is happening because that mutt killed every piece of our luggage. My sword is rusty and I can't cut it. Roig's excuse was sticking in the other three, especially Leader Fade, from another direction, because I wouldn't have been able to bring all that luxurious supplies into the dungeon without Rand either. Damn. I thought Rand and others were just luggage. It really didn't do any good. It just annoyed me, slowed my progress, deprived me of my food support, treated me like that's all there was to it. For Fade, Rand is not just a childhood tame genius prodigy. Rand, even said to be the pride of the city. I took it upon myself to view it as a rival. Fade, who wasn't even made against me. It was deliberately out of consciousness, but it was Fade that he made it difficult to take part in the battle to Luggage and keep his experience from getting in, as well as pushing chores to keep party members as far as possible from realizing Rand's excellence. Soon enough to forget such a story, Rand was completely adapted to its standing. It was exactly what I was aiming for. But it is also true that Fade was now entertained with the next brave man only because he pursued his childhood land and sometimes begged for teaching. Even the S-rank adventurer, the next brave man, can't catch up with the difference, and he can't say anything. The fact backstroked Fade's mind to scratch 27,615. Shit. Whoa. Party members are taken aback for a moment by Fade changes that don't put their emotions too much on the table, but they switch their minds to see the situation and see if they've put the mood into it. Shit. Even this 3 tiers out anyway. There would have been a few demons out there. Queera, don't cut your healing. I know. Roig prepares himself to bear the wound and comes forward. S-rank party that forced an unexpected struggle. He managed to return to the Alliance in scorn of the impending demons. 8008 Stopway. Speaking of which, didn't you get a chest when you knocked down the floor boss? Gumo. A sparked at me to affirm. Do you want to show me around? Gumo. He told me to come and walk out. Go, Ray. Wow on. I stroked Ray, who replied well, and followed him. This is back between the floor bosses. I accidentally breathed. What you have is 5 chests. Each had a weapon that was only produced in the highest quality dungeons. I see. You let the members who came in deal with you. Swords, armor, robes, canes, and the ring. Gumo. Put it on. Gumo. I don't know. Well, if 5 does cater to party members, it's no surprise I'm in charge of this. As soon as I wore it, that voice echoed on my head again. I wore a yellow spring ring. You can freely visualize the demon. Visualization. I've seen him since the beginning, but I'll try to remember to visualize him. Gumo. It was like Ace and Ray had never met before. Could it be? Was I the only one who could see? Maybe that's what happened because the two of them started hanging out for some reason. Right. I'm glad I kept this. It's a question of whether you're floating your luggage around the universe or bringing in the spirit of Minotaur. But there are many easier aspects to look at and understand. It's just, well, it usually startles me when I see Minotaur all of a sudden. So let's just show Ray and hide Ace as I give the rest to that member so that it doesn't rot after. I'll see you next time. Gumo. Careful. Huh? I know they won't be here anytime soon. It's a dungeon like having an S-rank party and just having to run back. I don't see how much Ray gets stronger and I can be impotent just because Ace subscribed. You can't even get in here if you're solo anyway. I'll go down the tunnel. Wow. On. Gumo. Thanks. I thanked the two of them and went home because they seemed to work hard with me. Thanks to the two stronger people on the road, they get out of it without struggling at all. Minotaur before, a horny wolf in the back. It was literally crushing demons that appeared in one hassle leading up to the Ace, and few demons came to see the Ace and challenge it in the first place. It was easy because I was just walking with very little to do. Do you want to go to the guild once like this? It was possible that people would say a lot about keeping the two of them with them, but I'll have to get used to them sooner or later if I'm going to continue to work. Once you've only visualized Ray, as always, make sure Ace shows up when you get to the guild. How would you react if you knew you were still alive? Kun. It's okay. I don't care. I'm still shocked that Fade, a childhood trainer, tried to virtually kill me. Still have to go. I don't mean to retaliate, but you're forgiven enough to surprise me, right? Wong. Aces and rewards are too much of a souvenir to surprise. I walked onto the guild worrying my head about how to report it. 9009 Return Report. The moment we reached the Adventurers Guild, we were to gather our sights together. This is getting more attention than I expected. Among them were Nina, the receptionist, and Fade. Mr. Nina was rushing me to the entrance with her patties. Mr. Rand. And Ray. Is it? Something totally atmospheric. Nina, a cat-based beast tribe. She's usually a beautiful popular receptionist who does her job in a cool and pale way, but now she had a rushed look on her face. I stopped for once when I saw something wrong with Ray I was holding back on, but when I found out there was no hostility, I touched Patapita and my body out. Good. It's real. The atmosphere has changed gallantly. Come anyway. We need to hear what happened. Proceed to the guild reception as Mr. Nina leads you. The Fades, who had been flying their gaze here all along during that time, finally called out at the time of passing in front of them. Huh. You. How can you live? After they left me, I brought down 5 Minotaurs. Such an idiot. I only said one word to Fade, who was stunned. Ray's dead. Death of my partner. Face to face with someone who further rocked his life and death. Anger was still somewhat of a lull. Hey, I don't care what you're talking about now. Roig's words, which have pinched his mouth, were not forgivable, but I just put up with bothering to rub things from myself here. Whatever you say to Roig will be useless. I decided to ignore it. I will report to the Alliance the fate of Koto from me. Wait. Oh, and then the party falls out. Sounds like you wanted to, and you're just in time, right? I don't know what kind of report the 4 of you are making, but you probably didn't honestly say you couldn't get me out of there and used me for bait for the decoy. Given the circumstances, it may have been a better decision for the Fades, but as a party, it was definitely an awkward response. We basically shouldn't go to a dungeon where even one person dies in the first place. It was a matter of great care to go, discussing how to protect those with the highest mortality rates before heading there. So I guess you don't care what I tell the guild. Wait, Rand. Fade trying to stop me in a hurry, but I ignored him and encouraged Mr. Nina to go first. Oh, come on. What's going on? Then Roig stood up and grabbed my arm. You're not making me look great when it comes to miscellaneous fish. Because of your uselessness, Hey, what is this power? Roig is surprised, but I don't know what caused it either. And that voice echoed my head again. Minotaur's absorption acquired skill phantom. 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 Acquisition skill power changed to extra skill superpower. Oh. Extra skills? Got something amazing. But why is there a time difference between getting it? No, well, That's good because you saved me. The only boulder is extra skill. I'm not scared that Roig, the most skilled man in the party, will grab it. On the contrary, I was in a situation where I could always shake it off if I wanted to. 10010. Roig screams that he didn't care what he didn't want. Get on with it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, stop it, Roig. Fade goes into a stop, but Roig didn't stop. It would not have been such a struggle if you had just protected your luggage. Ah, a struggle. Shit. It was an unexpected word to get out of Roig's mouth, because on the way home from that dungeon, I didn't even see the four of them thinking about struggling or anything. Quira was injured because of Roig's poor avant-garde. Hey, male. Hey, Quella. When I saw it, there was certainly blood creeping up in Quira's robe. They weren't returning blood. Ha. It's okay now. The recoverer is basically not good at putting his surgery on himself. At least there wouldn't have been room for that within the dungeon. I see, but I didn't expect to be pushed that far. If you're in good shape now, you'll just have to change your robe. Huh? Ace signaled me to put the robe I brought from the crate on my desk. Now. How the hell? Fade asked, wondering when he saw the luggage floating in the universe, but screamed for Quira to undo it. This same as my robe. No, it would perform better. Isn't the robe Quira was wearing one of the artifacts held by the church? Where the hell is this? Male talked to me before I answered. Reward for defeating the floor boss. Huh? 5 minotaurs. Roig absurds his voice. There are others, so give me a minute. Roig laughed when he started getting ready. Oh, sometimes you can use it. If this is all there is to it, it doesn't seem like a waste of time. Hey, you know what I mean? Leave it all, will you? All. I bet you are. This time, because of the miscellaneous fish, you're on the run for your life. You can't use it. There's no one to do it. Though it will always be the same in the first place. You don't get paid. Hey fool. Fade stops, but it was a later festival. Because I made myself public in my guild that the rewards for the party had not passed. Let's hear more about that from Mr. Rand. Ha. Hey, you know what? Hey, Roig tried to grab his arm again but made Ace stop it. What is this? I can't see. Something grabbed my hand. This could be useful in battle. I decided to show Ace by the power of the ring. This is. 4 people each leaked their voices. The Minotaur who killed me became one of us. You must have been Tamer. I can't believe the dead one obeyed. You said Ray was dead, too. But seeing something incredible, Fade was, for some reason, distorting his expression like he was in a hurry. 11011 Reasonable remuneration. The reward is mountain split. Is that all right? I checked the stance again, and now Quira disagreed. For reasons of symmetry with Roig. Wait, we've just been running away. Mr. Rand is the only one who defeated the floor boss. You idiot. It's all ours. Roig, shut up already. Get the fuck off me. A raging Roig. But I can't shake Ace's arm. Tell Ace I can let him go because he seemed in trouble about what was going on. Damn it. Roig flashly buttocks because of his sudden release. He tried to poke at me right away, but Ray and Ace wouldn't let him do it. Damn. What the? Are you quitting? No one will deal with Roig anymore. I kept talking. There are 5 crates I found. I got this ring. Each of the others may be tailored to their members. This is. Put out swords, armor, and canes and line them up. All of them are no longer in the realm of artifacts. It still seems that dungeon is comparable to the depths of the other dungeons by making it 5-tiered. The receptionist, Mr. Nina, was analyzing it. Are you sure? What? Cause this is Mr. Rand's loot, no matter who thinks it is. No, I want to run out of hand with this. I see. If that's what you're talking about, the Alliance will take care of this. Deposit? Mr. Nina checked some paperwork and turned to us again. Do you have anything else you plan to give these people besides this? Oh. And then there's the body of Minotaur and the luggage that was originally brought. I was just letting Ace hold my luggage, so I'll put it on the spot. I decided to go on and serve Minotaur. Coffin of the Necromancer. Suddenly a corpse of 4 Minotaurs appears on the floor of the guild. Because Minotaur was 5 in all. This is a perfect mountain division. I'm choosing something other than Ace's wreckage. Really? Minotaur? Quira stared with a stunned look. I see. In large part, the original luggage, the Minotaur material, and the floor boss reward. I'll sort things out one by one. But first of all, everyone at the party has waived their rights to their luggage earlier. Really? It was guild's decision that if asked, it would be difficult to get an investigation out to that place or collect luggage, and he declared that he neither wanted to investigate nor collect it as the Fades. "Oh, come on, you're kidding. If you're back, we'll have to talk about it." Followed by the body of Minotaur. "You're not ignoring me?" Mr. Nina stares at Roig chillily. "Ooh. What the fuck?" It was an unexpected counterattack. Mr. Nina continued his words when he saw Roig wondering. "There is no doubt that Mr. Rand has a right to this body. I was already in a solo state, not a party member, when I defeated him, and there's no record or trace of the damage the party was doing." "Ah, are you kidding me?" Roig. Fade appealed to Roig as he leaned down. "Mr. Nina doesn't deal with him." And finally, it's about rewards. "Mr. Rand, who defeated Minotaur with a solo, has a right." "I see. You can give Mr. Rand away if you really want, but the suggestion from the guild is that Mr. Rand should collect what he needs and make the deal across the guild." "Deal?" What I was checking now was the assessment amount, but even a rough calculation is worth this much. The numbers shown have been working as an S-rank party. Mine, no. It was about 5 years old. With the party's annual earnings, 12,012. Awesome. Naturally, S-rank party earnings are out of the law. Apart from clerics and lower nobles, many earn more than poor senior nobles. That's 5 years. It was an amount that could be said to be equivalent to the state budget without exaggeration. So much. "Yes, first we'll take care of these items responsibly." Roig was the only one who was calling in the form that was taken up, but nobody dealt with him anymore. Roig is also harmless because Ace and Ray are all he can do to make a scene. Except for the noise. If necessary, the party members will collect it through the guild in the form of a purchase. "Wait. Then why don't we just interact directly with Rand?" The answer to the Fade that interrupted the story was a simple one. "Can I pay?" "What?" Mr. Nina's voice flied as he folded into a Fade that looked like he had turned his face on. "It's roughly 5 years of your total money at the party. I don't think I have that much savings right now." "Are you kidding me? Why do we have to pay?" "You can't pay." Roig's words were no longer even ignored by Fade. "Money can come later via the guild, but you need instant money if you want to do it directly with Mr. Rand." "Okay." "Why are you pulling back, Fade?" "There's this right in front of me." Still unexcited, Roig, but Mr. Nina continued to speak. "Pale. Therefore, these items shall be held in Alliance custody once. Mr. Rand, we'll talk about fine amounts later." "Oh, incidentally, Mr. Rand also has priority to acquire. If you need a sword, Mr. Rand will take it with you." "Armor, canes and robes, of course." "No, that's fine. I don't know what Necromancer's standard gear is, but at least there was nothing here that would stick. There's another reason why I don't want to take these items. Maybe I don't feel good about this because it suits the party members. I don't think I want to use the gear that fits the person who tried to kill me, or have it." "Yes, sir." "Wait." Quira screamed at me to see if I could wrap up the story. "Mr. Rand, if you want to get out of the party, take me with you." It was a sudden declaration. 13:013 Separation. Fade and others had lost their voices in Quira's sudden proclamation. "That's where Mail chases after him." I can't use Roig. Plus what you just said, the Alliance won't meditate on your eyes anymore." "Huh? What the fuck are you talking about?" Roig grumbles, but Mail didn't stop. "It's like we're originally having problems in the nights and doing adventurers. If there's a problem over here, we can't have an S-rank party anymore." Mail to say Pale, Fade and Rand. "Now I'd rather be Rand." Knock. "I can't tell you anything, Fade." Mail, staring at this one and telling him so, looked cute, looking like a small animal if she didn't think about it. But the cuteness of the way it looks now doesn't sound to me anymore. I was impressed, in a way, by how Quira and Mail could have said this in this situation. The proposal to sacrifice me in the first place was supposed to have been suggested by Mail. I also made a clear suggestion that you were willing to kill me. Though he had genius and wondered talent, he had suppressed the magician's decision that he had difficulty communicating. "Don't say anything unsolicited." "I'm not throwing any more parties with you guys." I made it clear. When I think about it, I feel that what they've been able to come together so far is due in large part to Fade's title as the next brave candidate. Already a proven Roig as a shield for the former kingdom. Mail the next sage candidate, and the already nominated candidate for the Virgin, Quira. I guess it couldn't have been anything but the strongest and the most honorable brave man in the country to be able to put these together. It seemed like there was teamwork at first glance, but it became clear now that each one was just barely made up thanks to its high performance. If you're watching Nina react, there's no doubt that Roig will be subjected to some sort of disposition anymore. Responsibility for the party is imposed on the leader. In that case, there would never have been a single story about Fade's candidacy for bravery. Well put. I can tell you're quick to judge. I doubt the nerves that can come here and speak to me as a matter of course. I could also call it a statement that I know very well that my standing is fixed in the two of us already. I'm gonna throw you a party, so thank you. I had to take that thought out of the blue. Neither can I. Of course. Answer the query instantly. Queller would have agreed to kill me then, too. Not to mention the fact that you can easily find out to abandon your people in this way and you can't take it on happily. And you didn't expect the party to collapse in front of you. Really? Roig barked again as they reluctantly pulled back. Are you kidding me? Question mark. If you can do this, why don't you do it first? Because of your desire for reward, I even sent you out to get hurt. This word could not be seen on a boulder. 14014 remarks. Ray died because of you guys. It just so happens to be like this. You're kidding me. I don't know what that means. It was Ray who silenced Roig, who would go on. Whoa? Hey. What the? You want me to do it? Damn it. Ray's roar makes Roig's body tremble billably. Ray became an overwhelming presence of the 5 Minotaurs. The real roar echoed. The guild had become a mild noise. Dude. That must be the dog Rand had. You were so strong? That's right, because Rand's mixed up with those guys. Yeah, I was just seeing it. It's an S-rank party. I did. Roig's not moving, is he? Apparently. There was a part of me that just felt the roar, and everyone's attention shifted from Ray to Roig. Roig just got barked. Get your hands and feet out. I'm a little scared, but, well, if it's him, I'd rather be a good Zama. Come on, I can't hear you. Naturally, Roig's ears would have gotten a voice too. I was making my face bright red, but still Ray was staring at me and I couldn't move. Ray controls Roig under silent pressure to intimidate him with no energy. Ray, who has become a spiritual body, no longer has a good isolated power, saying he is separate from what he has been before. I'm under that pressure directly. I had to tremble my body and shut up. Well, it was a situation where I knew when it came to figuring it out. But Roig's statement now makes sense. Fade calls out in a throwing voice, like he's half fucked up. If you could do this, but you kept your mouth shut, I could sue the Alliance. I'm going to sue you. That's right. I put the party in jeopardy because we didn't talk about it. Of course, Fade. You know what you're talking about yourself? What? He seemed quite distracted. I put the party in jeopardy because I didn't talk well. This line was, as it were, traced back to Fade, the leader. I see. Let's decide on the disposition once we've heard Mr. Rand. Wait. What are we going to do with our story? I think you guys talked enough before Mr. Rand arrived. Mr. Rand sacrificed himself if he wanted to. We stopped ourselves but didn't ask. From time to time, Mr. Rand has taken the lead in various tasks. For that matter, I also received more rewards. I want you to give me your guild and tell me about this shaped but dead land. Is that all? To be. If Nina continued the word by controlling Faye the other way, she tried to stop him. If you testify now that these statements are due to falsehood, you will also need to list them as adventurers raising false reports as guilds. It could have been virtually a death sentence. A false declaration to the Alliance is a felony. You will not be able to operate in the guild. That is, you will lose everything in an instant, as will the status you have built up as an S rank. On the contrary, in some cases it can also be a matter of the guild putting on a bounty to arrange the nomination. I will take a look at your claims, Mr. Rand's claims after this, and then the situation to make a comprehensive decision. If you disagree, let's do it later. The nagging Fade couldn't give him a face like that. Well, let's go. At last, when no one was there to stop him, he walked into the back of the guild counter, the reception room, about Mr. Nina. 15015. I walked into a separate room and talked about the upside of things. While taking a few questions, Nina sighed and leaked like this, roughly talking about how she had been treated so far and how she had been humbled between the floor bosses this time. Still, you did something stupid. They are right. No, it's not about this. It's about letting Mr. Rand go. Mr. Nina's words were unexpected perspectives. Sure, Ray's death made me stronger for some reason. No, I'm talking about Mr. Rand, who was Tamer. At first I thought it was a joke, but I was told with serious eyes. Mr. Nina, it's hard to understand because he's basically cool. Anyway, if you look from the outside, especially from the guild, I'm the one who supported that party. Is that so? When I was Tamer, I was made to carry baggage because I was of little use. The other way around. The fact that I was making up for the missing elements of the party while I was holding my luggage is exactly what I was able to do because I could use another partner named Tamer. It's pretty valuable that you have these assistive skills, and that you can accompany more than A-rank quests to protect yourself. Right? Really? Nina went on to say that she didn't think it was a good idea. Otherwise, there will be no hauliers. Oh, the haulier literally carried something, which, in addition to his ability to move humans, was the so-called type of job responsible for carrying things into the dungeon. Mr. Rand had taken on most of the luggage handling, hostility, vigilance and other things that party members were supposed to show by themselves by using demons, otherwise they wouldn't be S-ranked yet. We stopped it. That much. It is, of course, the guild that determines the rank, a sign that can also be described as the face of the state, especially if it is also S-ranked. Sure, speaking of which, instead of each party member being certified as an S-rank, they said it was an S-rank as a party. Mr. Roig was taking some problematic action, so I couldn't afford to worry about it. But I was going to tell this story when he started moving to take Mr. Rand off until Mr. Fade. But I didn't know this was gonna happen. Mr. Nina had his head. Once I confirm, only Mr. Queller and Mr. Mail will be picked up and Mr. Rand will be the party leader. No, sir. Right. Nina pulled back slightly watching that. I was just made aware that it was a real issue to the extent that Nina, who was watching that, wanted to check it out. At number 16016. For once, that would have allowed me to process just the change of members without losing the S-rank certification party even as an guild. I'm sorry, number. It's a natural decision, and it's not something Mr. Rand cares about. But it was a deep sigh enough to make me look cute. I knew you wanted the S-rank party for your guild. Yes, that's already. Even though we're far from Wangdu, this is the land just below the border, and I was grateful to have an S-rank adventurer stationed on this land even when I was thinking of defense. Some people say that the base is domestic but works across continents because the speed of travel is no longer normal when it comes to levels like being an S-rank adventurer on a solo. In that regard, if it means party by party, the frequency of being based also increases, and it seems safe as in guild when things happen. Mr. Rand, we're going to have an S-rank party because my powers alone would be tough, and I'd like to try solo myself. Really? Too bad. I felt sincerely sorry for him. I'm glad you're expecting me, but I'm not the leader of the S-rank party. So much so that I think about your luggage was just fine. I think Mr. Rand has been treated a lot unfairly, so perhaps if he can work with the top B ranks, he can act as an S-rank party enough. Isn't that too much to say? I've been that party ever since I started my adventurer. It was a fact that I didn't know my strength in solo. I think Mr. Rand is the shining presence at the party. If you're with a buddy who understands that well. I see. Well, I'm glad you said that. Think about it. When I was Tamer, I thought maybe I could just use the demons to act as a party. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking like that. But Nina asked me this at the top of her list. If you really want to introduce me, will you take it? Well, I can't say no if you say so much. If you want to be this girl to Mr. Rand, good luck introducing her. No, number. You can do it solo for a while. For example, someone studying necromancy. I'm concerned. Someone familiar with how dragons are handled and who can help Mr. Rand become a dragon tamer. Very concerned. Anyway, Tamer, I'll gather some information about necromancer. Thank you. Thanks. I decided to finish this story once I felt signs that I was about to be introduced to a party member candidate soon. 17017. Well, from now on, Mr. Rand is completely out of that party because it means he wants a solo, and Mr. Rand has been partying since he started his adventurer, so as a solo, when he fits the policy, he starts between rank B and rank D. I thought you were C-ranked, but you're not. Yes, it will not be fixed in the C rank and will determine the formal rank in view of the movements in the next few days and the current ability to do so. Of course, if you get a track record in a few days, you can suddenly get an A rank or an S rank. For example, if you're wiping out dragons from nest to nest. I can't. But they can even take requests that B rank receives, or A rank, for this period. I don't know what to do. Minotaur is at the top of Hazard A, and from what I've seen, Ray's pretty strong, isn't he? Oh. Because I've completed 5 Minotaurs. Huh. I dropped the paperwork Mr. Nina had. Wait, please. I didn't think so because there were 5 Minotaur bodies, but really, you can't do anything else, can you? Instead, how did you think you had knocked him down? Well. But then, Mr. Rand, now, it's worth S rank in standalone combat power. Will that happen? But Tamer has a tough spot around here, and it's Ray and Ace who are strong, not me. Mr. Roy didn't move when he grabbed me, and I'd like to measure Mr. Rand's combat ability once and for all. Measure or feel like when you're in the guild? I remembered there was something like an exam trying to get an approximate rank when entering the guild. I miss it. I still felt like a whole lot more could be done then fade, and I was suddenly regretting being C ranked. Now the great difference has already been made. Basically, it's similar to that exam, but in order to be admitted to the S rank alone, someone equal to the S rank needs to be the examiner. I see. And when it comes to S rank equivalence, it's sort of. Because you're all unique. It's cloudy, but, well, S rank is basically all monsters. I heard you were struggling to control your guild. No, it's nothing. I don't need S rank to admit it. Relatively normal among them are just, I plan to come nearby. Normal? No, it's not normal at the time of S rank. Hee. Fair enough. So, if you're this person, please make a normal match and decide whether or not to accept it. No way. Yes, as an alliance, you can't leave your excellent fighting power unattended, so try to fight it once. I got into an unexpected situation. 18018. Surprisingly, the next day, an S-rank adventurer appeared as an examiner, making him the wingman to be immediately called to the Alliance's training facility. There were already people when we arrived. Well, you're an S-rank candidate. It was a beautiful red-haired woman waiting for me, bearing a long sword on a smooth, skinny body, challenging, sliced twilight eyes, clear white skin. A slightly longer rear is probably a half-elf feature. With all these features, I can tell. Sword Saint, Luminous, Lee Best, Pimp. Hey, I've become a celebrity, too. Hey, the legend of living, given the skills of, Kensai, said to be once a millennium, and single certified to S rank at the youngest. Stormy Luminous. Well, let's do it right. We're busy, aren't we? Oh. Would you be busy if you were S ranked? I guess they are anyway. S rank adventurers' time is high. Yeah. Well, Luminous, to start a light prep exercise. It wasn't until this moment that I could relax. All right. Bwah. As soon as Luminous finished his preparatory exercise and became Kai of it, the wind rose around him. Your whole body even looks radiant. I was so overwhelmed by the aura unleashed by the S-rank adventurer in front of me that I accidentally lagged behind. I felt something overwhelming hissing on my skin. What is this? Thanks to Ray's support, I managed to confront him, but he made me feel like I was on a different level. Stand up. Luminous lowered his posture and put his hand on the sword. Huh? At that moment, the air around me changed again. I've still got my gear up from there, aura so trembling all over her body. It seemed like the existence that was supposed to be smaller than mine would have swelled up and up many times. Ray, Ace, please. Wow, on, Gumo ooh. He manages to erase Luminous's unleashed aura by 2 growls he can rely on. Good. I couldn't even move like that. Hey, that's funny. This is the Necromancer. So we're going? The figure of Luminous seemed to vanish in an instant. The next moment, Ray was being blown away. Huh? Gumo ooh. Ace jumped in the direction Ray was blown away, waving his axe down as the momentum remained. It's late, isn't it? Gmu. Ace's axe is sucked into the remnants of Luminous, which have become soil smoke only. There was no Luminous there anymore. But Luminous couldn't seem to afford to turn to counterattacks either. Ray moves on to the attack immediately. Cake in. Hey. Both A's are beyond spare. Stronger than just Minotaurs. That's it, right? Good for you, Ace. Of course you do. On. Kick in apostrophe. Luminous, who converses to surprise but continues to deny 2 attacks. Seemed like there was still room for the move. 19019. And you can also see that this will increase your recommendation to the S rank. I felt Luminous's speed of motion increased once. Ray and Ace are confused for a moment and the movement is dull. Coming. That's what my instincts told me. It's you at the end, as expected. But faster than expected, Kensai's sword jumped in. Damn. Cake-in successfully managed to receive the luminous sword in time for preparation. It was critical. I thought I was going to die. Hey, surprised. You're gonna react properly? I'm most surprised, though. Extra skill super reaction acquired by the status obtained by absorption. Extra skill super sensory acquired by the status obtained through absorption. That voice sounded again. Is it possible to react when combined with the other day's superpowers? Even so, I didn't know extra skills could get pompous like this. Don't be going to dream about it when this happens. Yourself to be active from now on. Yeah, you passed. That's all I say. Luminous, which holds the sword. In the name of Luminous the sword, I'll give you permission whenever you want to name the S rank. It was only one, but still a delightful memory of being attacked by Kensai. Congratulations. You are Mr. Nina. Blessed was Mr. Nina, who showed up at some point. It's a standalone S rank. Awesome feat. Really? No, you're right. Yes, and Mr. Rand himself is getting stronger as well as the demons. Looks like it. Probably the voice that rings in that head is what shows up when I need it. If we continue to use Tame and Necromance, will we get an image of something like the point from which some skill or status is based accordingly? I guess that means you'll show up when you need it. We mean each other S rank solo. And what do you think? As soon as we throw a party, we're going to be certified brave. It was funny, but I think I'd like to enjoy the solo some more. Me, too. Really? Too bad. But if your brother spoke up, I might think about it. It was a dodgy line. It's an invitation to a living legend. I'm going to take it without thinking for a second. No, I need to know about Necromancer first. Well, it's fun to think about it. He exchanged hands with Kensai, who giggled and offered his hand. So am I done? Yes, if you need anything else, please. Yes, I'll play with the dragons around here, so look forward to bringing something. That's all I have to say. Luminous disappeared like a storm. She was as beautiful as she embodied the name of the storm as it was. 2020 unique. Well, I was recognized as an S-rank adventurer. You're not gonna name me, are you? Not yet. I thought it would be. So I'm fine. It's an observation period for a while, as an alliance. Mr. Nina continues without moving. First of all, regarding the relevant information on Necromancer. The number of adventurers currently registered as Necromancers in the alliance was 0. Oh, yes, I washed past data, but I didn't find the name Necromancer. Is that so unusual? It is a good thing that stranger skills and job titles appear, but I did not assume that the number would be 0. Rare. Rather than rare, the Alliance has certified this as a unique job title. Unique. Unique is literally about what is perceived as that much inherent power. To give an example, the most famous would be the Demon King and the Brave. Other things like Sage, Sword Saint, Virgin. Anyway, it was amazing. Unique is something that is made up of special conditions. Some appointments are shape-shaped like brave men and exist in multiple ways. Kings of various genus, dragon species, unique spiritual species, etc. are also different from their job titles, but they are the same. I see. I knew when I put them in line like this. Yes, everything that each bears a unique name, and its ability to do so is outstanding. You know what? Put me in line there. Dragons are already a species of the mythical world. Brave men and demon kings, as well as wise men, sword saints and virgins. Is it better to have me than that and the Necromancer? Mr. Rand may not really feel it because he is progressing well to the S-rank party, because the original S-rank is no longer a super-knowing existence, is it? Well, I was just a luggage man. I just don't give my guild a S-rank for luggage either. Okay. Anyway, we can now name S-rank with standalone power, so we line up well enough with these mighty beings. I don't feel it, but I can't help but say something to the guild decision. Unique. Well, try not to be ashamed of your name. I also expect it as a guild. Nina smiles, but it's quite a heavy story. It's a promotion from Tamer, who is commonly out of the box. Good luck. Mr. Nina was watching me squeaking again with a nicked face. 21021 investigation request. Well, I was gathering information related to the necromancer this time, but that's the situation, so I can't really gather anything useful. I won't have a choice. But we have information that could be a guide to Mr. Rand's actions. Oops, it's Mr. Boldenina. It's amazing that it was yesterday today. This leads to an earlier story about a unique species. Do you know inside the vampires? It is a demon that reigns at the apex of the Andean system, a being that has become an urban legend alongside dragons because it was told that the superior being can live as little as a human being. But as a species, most attack people. Because of this, there are many cases of crusaders demons of enemy. Even though it is no longer an abandoned village or almost doomed, it is still a nest of many undead monsters. I see. It shouldn't have appeared in decades, such as a top vampire enough to make the inside. All I'm here for now is a demon that attacks people, and that number is small. I wouldn't have any choice but to become an abandoned village. Given necromancer's abilities, I think there's some hint there. Thankful information. So I decided to send Mr. Rand a special quest over the Alliance. Special quest? The special quest is dedicated to B ranks and above, so to speak. The request for the back route. It is a precious experience that the Alliance is told how eye-catching adventurers are the only ones to make their immediate requests, and that the adventurers who have received this are said to have taken the birth course. No, wait, there's nothing more to come out of this, is there? It's no big deal for Mr. Rand now. Well, it's unique. I really don't know what the title of Queer as Virgin was, considering it wasn't definitive yet. But it's unrealistic. As a guild, I also have the aim of keeping Mr. Rand with me as long as possible. I see. I didn't feel surprisingly bad when Strait told me. You will be asked to investigate inside the vampire. The locality becomes a mighty undead nest, a difficult situation to even reach in a concurrent adventurer. In it, what seems to be the king of vampires, the Hall of the Original Ancestors, remains almost a ruin. The Hall of Original Ancestors. Yes, true ancestors. He is the biological parent and strongest undead of the vampires who are here today. If it still exists and it turns its fangs on humans, we need to be ready too. I see. Being called the most powerful species. The most powerful species of the undead are vampires, although they include the dragon species, the gods, and the tetras among the beasts. And its ancestors. The phantom being called True Ancestor is no longer a mythical monster who makes his name in history. Okay, I'll investigate. Of course you're not supposed to think there's such a thing as a guild, and if you think you're serious, I can throw a bunch of really powerful parties, not me. In short, this is like a bonus of a special quest against me, which would be a buy of time for the Alliance while they are pressing for various responses. Thank you for your cooperation. It's something I'm looking after for Mr. Nina, and I decided to take a good ride. I have a lot to be sure of, too, and the undead's nest would be perfect for that. It was a mutually beneficial story. 22022. Here, Owen. I stroke Ray, who rang and snuggled over to exhaust the long journey, and look back again. A few days on foot with Ray and Ace, relying on the map given to the guild. It was a devastated village where the undead seemed to lurk to see it. Wonders and the surrounding air are so dark and cloudy. Gumo Oau. You feel something? As the same undead. You have no idea what you're talking about. I found out a few things on this road. The first is about communicating with Ray and Ace. As with Tamer, the other persons will reach us here to some extent. Collaboration and requests from this side of the battle seem to be understood with little difficulty. And basically, these guys' thoughts reach me, too. A brief emotional expression of joy and sorrow predominates. But there was something I would have known if you would have conveyed it willingly even if you didn't know this one. For example, there's a story about a place where you want them to take their bodies. It was just a situation where I didn't really know when it was ringing without meaning or when they were weak enough to tell me this way. So, there's a place around here where you guys want you to go. I know this kind of thing very well. Instead they were almost taken to be pulled already. It was as far as I could tell, even if it wasn't Tamer or Necromancer. Whoa, stop, there's something here. Bako skeletons and zombies that looked chilling had been blown unquestioned by the two. I'll go with you at once. Necromance succeeded. Acquired bone soldier skill primary swordsmanship by absorbing ability. Ability Absorption Acquired Bone Soldier Skill Primary Art Absorption Acquired Bone Soldier Abnormal Resistance Obtain Zombie Skill Health Enhancement by Absorbing Ability Acquired Zombie Skill Dietary Recovery by Absorbing Ability. Yep, we just got our hands on each other. Why? Q-on. Ray screams. He was a willing scream this time. Necroman says it takes everyone to die. Is that so? Gumo oa Ace supplements. Oh. Sure, when they say that, if you look at the ace you immediately followed when you said you had just been killed, surely there were different criteria than tame. Even so, it's all necromance that's dead. Q-on. Yeah, well, if you can really do it, it's worth a shot. What Ray has suggested is to make use of the usual means of Tamer's time. I had the skills to temporarily do totems around the neighborhood, even with unseen creatures. We were talking about doing this even in necromance. 23023. I had acquired one special skill regarding tame. Wide area contracts. Skills that allow you to perform one-on-one contracts, totems, with an individual at the same time for a range. For example, swarms of birds over the sky, swarms of wolves over the ground, worm-shaped warcraft that give us information. It was a handy skill that I especially took care of when I took care of these. Successfully widened the scope of necromance. I knew it. I found it possible to strengthen my skills if I thought of it. It's a rough spot. I'll give it a shot. Q-on. Gumo oa. Skills were developed in the form of a back push by 2 barking to affirm. Necromance. Successful necromance. Necromanced zombies. Gained pain tolerance. Necromanced born soldier. Got flexible. Necromanced ghoul got dietary enhancement. Necromanced crash armor. Got defense enhancement. Necromanced the skeleton. Got regenerative capability. Necromanced ghosts. Gained physical resistance. Necromanced bloodhound. Got blood recovery. Ooh, I don't see him. I get the feeling he's connected to someone. But my voice didn't stop here. Necromanced rich got extra skill white flame. I necromanced race. I acquired extra skill thunderlight. This is extra skills. It would be advanced magic, even considering the characteristics of an individual connected by necromancy. Magic is besides the 4 main attributes or systematic magic, there is original magic that bears the name. It would be a big weapon if you had acquired even one. Depending on the thing, yes, it's like 2 names come from. Wait, white flames and thunderlights are the crown magic of the historical sage. I saw something glittering across in front of me and flying straight back into the sky. No way. Tame and necromance are skills with similar parts, but there were also significant differences. The biggest difference would be this: it assumes that tame will then work together, whereas necromance is strongly in the nature of taking over his abilities. If I don't wish strongly, I'll take over and disappear. It was somehow the view conveyed by the 2 partners on the road that the Minotaurs only showed up for Ace. Probably because I didn't wish it that way back then. As for that, well, I thought it would generally be. It also seems to be a special to spiritual means other than holy magic, depending on what you think. Q-on. Oh, I don't know if he's a real sage or someone who imitates it. But that means he's undead enough to remember the original magic of a sage. The will emanating from Ray was a warning. Gumo oa. Ace is suing me, too. I know. There were already signs in front of me. 24024 heroin illustrations available. Hey. After hindering my sleep, I thought I'd come and see the face of an idiot who wiped it out on his own until it was either that or the user demon. You become? The voice was somehow heard from directly behind. He leaves in a hurry to look back and mock me. Ha ha. Good reaction. For now, this is enough for one demon. Ha. Gah. The pain is thin. Well, this is what pain tolerance is. It's good to have it, because somehow my right arm is being taken away from my shoulder. Oh. Do you want to play? Ray jumped in. He said it was fast enough to complete the 5 Minotaurs, but if so, stroke Ray's head. Festival. Q-Wagga. I had been flattened to the ground. Gmu. You're hot today. The move to deal with the ace that went on and chased him was only extremely minimal. Yes. Sleeping? The chosen attack is Decopin. Gumoga. That was just it. Ace was blown away. Too strong. Thanks. Huh? If I realized it, I would have been blown away too. When the distance was away, I finally saw the lord of my voice. The first thing that stands out is grey hair, golden eyes, and black wings grown on the back. Black and red-based outfits, bats flying around, teeth like pointy fangs. Vampires. From the drifting aura, it's already too overwhelming. I knew Ray and Ace weren't going to be able to move anytime soon either. Well, shall we end the play? Become vampires with the wind rising around them and the air releasing so much pressure to tremble. I know you didn't mean it before from that dialogue, but it's not like before. If you eat it, you die. Then I'll just have to bet. White flames. When I crouch my hands, instantly the vampire is engulfed in white flames. On the contrary, the surrounding area was surrounded by intense light and heat, flashing one side around and enveloping the sea of fire. That's so powerful. Hey, I miss you. But the shadows seen in the flames were not as if they had taken damage. I don't know if I'll keep it, but do I have to? Another extra skill, Thunderlight. I don't know how this works either, but it's the magic of the wise. I'm sure the power will be different digits. Is it over? Don't worry, there's more. Put your hands together, Thunderlight. As soon as I recite it, a darker cloud winds up in the sky. Extreme magic that even changes the surrounding weather. It's amazing magic not to be ashamed of a wise man's name. Dogawoon. The thunder that fell from the sky poured down on the vampire along with the fierce sound as if it had mass. It caught the surrounding white flames and caused a huge explosion. The aftermath alone was blowing me away. 25025. What do you say? Both the white flame and the smoke generated by the explosion gradually clear up. You're lying. From that, a completely intact vampire appeared. Whatever it was, in addition to being out of magic, the person who let it go was the end of being blown away in the aftermath to take the damage. I wouldn't even have shot this in the first place if it weren't for the magic enhancement I wore on the road too. That's funny. I'm a little interested. It just seemed a little less hostile from the vampires who showed up. Why? Does fighting interest you? Maybe it's because this is the only one I'm serious about. The other one was meant to play? It's possible. So, what did you come here to do? A moment of respite. Gain the feeling of various events flying fast in your head. Incorrect answers will kill you. Yes, my instincts told me, because I was originally investigated by the Alliance. No, you're not, for gathering information as my necromancer. The thought of whether there is anything to be gained here and, based on further hopeful observations, whether there is anyone who seems to know something. The beautiful girl too strong in front of her when she thought of it that way began to feel as if it fell into place. As a result, it was a surprising dialogue myself that popped out of my mouth. To see you? Hey, I was so suddenly blushed that I thought there would be a fire in Bong. I wonder what you're talking about? No, really, I think so myself. It's all too sudden. That kind of thing takes more time to get to know each other, in a romantic atmosphere. What do you say? I was obviously tempered, but thanks to that, I was finally able to try to calm down the presence in front of me. Confirm again. Vampires. Right? It's really funny how you normally talk about knowing that. Suddenly it seemed like the war had completely disappeared from her eyes. The feathers are gone and the golden eyes changed to blue, looking a little calm. I was just wondering if you wouldn't join me. I'm not just a vampire. That said, a spin. The black fog wrapped my body and my costume changed. He was not dressed to be easy to move to earlier, but in a luxurious dress. Vampire Road, a place that unites the vampires of this land. Oh. Are there other vampires? What? Right? Maybe he's here? I think he's here. He's here. His men. Gyusu. I wonder why I made you cry. I'm sorry. The atmospheric girl was letting the aura of the mighty fully lurk until earlier. 26026. That's right. I'll make you a relative, family, right? I'm the king of purer bloods. I'll be your immediate family. How about that? Don't you think I'd be grateful? Round your head. Vampires have been considered enemies because of the ferocity of their men. There were also many cases in which the existence of a vampire's best friend, human ethics, was absent and out of hand. It's just that in this country you shouldn't have been guilty of just being a vampire. This is not the case if you lose your intelligence, such as a failing ghoul, but it is basically recognized as a subhuman. However, still, there are many hostile people. Is a relative the one who gets blood? Yes, thank you. What happens when they do? What will happen? You don't know. When I saw the girl, I turned red in my face and disputed. Cause you can't help it. Because it's the first time. The first intimidation had become such a patchy and moving cute creature that I wondered where he had gone. So, What are you gonna do? It's also very cute to ask this one in a flirty upbeat manner. He's cute, but we have to be careful. The person in front of us has the power to make us deceased in an instant. I don't have any arms right now. What's your name? What? It's Mim. Mim, I need to talk to you. What could it be? Can I ask you anything? Because you're a family candidate. Oh, I'll give you this back, too. When I said that and threw my arm, it flew into my lost right arm, wrapped in black mist in the air and turned into countless bats. What? Huh. As you can see, my arm was well healed. What magic? So, what's the question? I'm in a good mood right now, so I'll ask you. He liked it for reasons I'm not sure about. What does Mim want me to do with my family, huh? You ask a hard question. For your family. Mim showing bumps and distressing bear gestures. That's it. He's the one who's not even thinking about it. I've made up my mind. I made a country of vampires here. Rejected. Why not? You're busy with your family. I'm willing to collect some vampires enough to make a country. Are you willing to give birth to it all? Few adventurers will come to such a place, and I don't think there are so many vampire survivors. Generate. Well, if you don't mind my family, I can think about it for you. She blushes and flickers. A beautiful girl who says that while asking this one. Rejected. Why not? Talk to me. Okay, but this kid's not a bad kid. Kun, Gumo, proof above all that Trey and Dace, who are back, are adulterating without any hostility. Suggestion. I'm busy proposing to you. Would you like to be one of us? Friends. Murmur was looking at this one with his mouth open like he had eaten. 27027. Companions. Companions. No, 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 no. It's just human, right? It's a little different, huh? Really? I was wondering what the vibe was different, but I shouldn't go out of the way. Right. What? Something started roaring. Mim, wait quietly for a while. I'm afraid of humans. Scary. It was an unexpected word. Even if humans ever feared vampires, they didn't think the opposite. I am also aware that we are indeed creatures incompatible with humans, but even the ones that didn't interfere with humans have been uprooted and pruned. I've never been sacrificed around me, so there's no grudge. But it's imprinted on consciousness that it's scary. Were you, vampire girl, speaking weakly? Certainly there is a time when vampire hunters have been extremely luxurious. It was over 100 years ago, but some parts of it would see time differently than humans. Can't we trust humans? Yes. Right. I wouldn't betray my family. My family is a subordinate, a companion, a child. You don't know how I look. In Murmur's eyes that leak potatoes. It shouldn't be complacency to feel a little different from what you're supposed to be afraid of against humans. Then let's do this. I'm a necromancer. I have the power to keep the demons of immortality company. Necromancer. I see. It makes sense to be close to this side. I'm worried about that story, but I'm patient now. Myram needs me as a family member, and I'll sign with Mim on necromance. What happens when you sign a contract? Come on. I wonder what will happen. Hey, I won't have a choice. We're new to each other. Well, right. If that's all you want to say, you can do it. Oh, not only did I escape the danger of my life, but I pulled it into my side. A powerful companion. And I'll give you a moment to make you family. Huh? What's this all about? There. Family is a contract that can never be turned back. Destruction means death. Then we should go in a little lighter with each other, right? I see. Besides, as far as I know, a contract by necromance shouldn't unilaterally allow the immortal side to obey, and that, if you're referring to your people, that's better. Fine. I wonder what it is. Mim, who tells him that as he turns red and turns away, was releasing an aura that makes him want to protect himself so badly. 28028. The contract of necromance is to obey the immortal. Vampires who are the culmination of immortality, even if they are not spiritual bodies, would have stepped on a contract, but they say they have no problem there. And about the conditions, it turns out that not only can we follow them, but we can do so in a way that determines our mutual commitments. Then you should probably be able to gain skills. A covenant has been added to necromance. I knew it. Then, for some reason, I put my hands together in front of me, my eyes meditating and staring up at this one. Mim. Necromance. The terms of the covenant are simple. Not to hurt each other. Not to betray. That's the way it is. So this is necromance. That's a strange feeling. I made a pact with Mim, Vampire Road. Acquired unique skill Black Fog by absorbing ability. Absorbed abilities to acquire the unique skill King of the Night. Extra skills Blood Regeneration acquired by absorption. Extra skill Black Wings acquired by absorption. Extra skills Dark Magic Enhancement acquired by absorbing ability. Absorption greatly improved status. Enhanced use of demons improves the ability of Rays, Aces, and Milms. Oh. Wow. What's this? What have you done? No, I signed a contract at Necromance, so the power was shared. Huh? You could even do that? Is that it? Isn't that what this is about? Not to my knowledge. Really? I thought it would be convenient, but is this some kind of skill too? No, it's an extension of Tamer, so you're just getting it? Fair enough. I feel stronger. You're going to be stronger than that. Oh, I got a few skills. Can you tell me how to use them? I got skills. You're taking over the skills of someone connected in Necromance, right? Yeah, were you? What did you inherit? You don't know the Black Fog and the King of the Night. Not a unique skill. Oh, I can still use it, right? Myram's appearance was engulfed in fog when he prepared something in a rushed manner, and every grain of fog moves out as if it were alive. King of the Night. You can use it. Countless bats were flying around the mill. Good. Absorption doesn't steal my abilities. Mim moved into descriptive mode in a reassuring manner. 29029. Is this? I asked again for an explanation of the skills Mim showed me. Black Fog, literally the ability to generate fog or fog oneself. Wow. By the time it can be fogged, physical attacks should hardly work anymore. And the King of the Night. The ability to use your magic to generate demons. Generate? Yes, there are many other convenient ways to use it, but basically I use it for that. Oh, that's what healed my arm earlier. Really? That's a hell of a skill. Huh. Sounds good. I haven't been strong in a long time. Good for you. So, what do we do after this? Are you going to be King of Demons together? What the hell is that? Adventurer quits and becomes Demon King. No, it's a skill that I'm sure I can be. I decided to ignore it. I hope Mim is good, but why don't we do an adventurer together? Fine. Doesn't sound funny. Good. I said we'd be buddies. I didn't know if you'd fit this one on top of that, but apparently you liked it. Well, back to the guild. Oh, where there are so many humans. Fine. If you are here. Right. I thought you had forgiven me a lot. Would this also be the effect of Tame and Necromance? It's Rand. Huh? Name. You didn't tell me, did you? Rand. Rand. Not a good name. I'm going back to the guild with a strangely tense Mim. Oh, wait. I wonder what's wrong? I thought you said there was something these guys wanted to go to. Ray and Ace pulled me off in the first place. Q-on. You're adorable. These kids. Ray and Mim being stroked and waving their tails. Lovely indeed. Are you saying that what you wanted to go to was at Mim's? Gumo I see. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this, can you process it? Remove Ray and Ace's body from coffin of the necromancer. What Ace said was that we should give our own wreckage to Murmur. Is this the coffin of the night darkness? No, it's the coffin of the necromancer. Midnight's probably more convenient, isn't it? Why don't you try it? Even if they said it so easily. That voice sounded. We've acquired the coffin of the night darkness. Seriously? Now you don't have to carry all the luggage in your hand. Whoa. Gumo. Ace, who was being made to carry luggage, barks. It was an anxious voice and expression that they took the job. Don't worry, because you'll always be counting on me. Gumo they motivated me. It looked like the one with the squid simple and cute part for it. 30030. So, this is these kids, right? Good. Oh. But you won't be able to go back, will you? Is that good? Mim looked at Trey and Ace and asked me, not me, to respond immediately. Ku-on. Gumo. Apparently, the fact that he gave his consent was passed on to Murmur. Yes. Okay. Mim meditates his eyes. A black vortex wraps around the circumference of the Mim, enveloping the two bodies that were in front as they were. My body was sucked into a black vortex to dissolve with a drool. At the next moment, the black vortex sparkled and the two bodies changed. Is this all right? That's a success. The light subsided and appeared in Horn. Right. That's all I can do. I know it's not like what I just saw and just cut out the tuna. Then Ray and Ace took their respective horns and started barking. Each of the two spiritual bodies sparkles. It disappears so that the horns you had at the same time are taken into your body. We have confirmed the evolution of Ray into the most advanced species, Fenrir. The evolution of the presence of Ace has been confirmed. Because Minotaur is the finest species, it becomes a unique monster. Ace significantly enhances status, which is not even in existential evolution. Improved Ray, Ace and Mim stats greatly due to enhanced demon usage. What is this? It was the spirit who was strong, and it was the spirit who became strong, but for what it was separated from the flesh, the strength would fall. So that's back. Yes, I had the means to use you as a vessel because your body was beautiful, but these kids wanted to be strong. Really? Q-on. Gumo oa oa. It was a sign of willingness to be useful. You're missed. Strangely enough. Really? I know why. Fluffy away from me. Mim flying under two stronger ones. What can I do to think about it? Speaking of which, what do you mean the necromancer is close to immortality? Oh, I mean as it is. Right. They are more powerful at touching death than humans. That's what we call the magic of night darkness. Of the night darkness. Isn't it just a dark attribute? One of the dark magic, maybe? Especially when it comes to death. I feel like I know somehow, and somehow I don't. Well, that one. We live longer when we drink blood. This is Xiao Dark. Somehow I felt like I figured it out, that I didn't. You can't help but think hard. You look like me. That's all you need, right? I'm sure I can't help but think of a grin without being interested. I forgot because I was a bummer, but on second thought, I'm close to this many beautiful girls. You can't be thrilled. 31031. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. S. Question mark. 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 32032. It's Rand. What's the kid next door? You're so cute. The dog I was with, is he getting bigger than that? They even stayed with Minotaur the other day. Attention was drawn as soon as I stepped into the guild. Not popular. No, that's evil conspicuous. Let's just get to the reception. Long before I got there, my voice never subsided. Even so, a really cute neighbor. Is that why Male and Quello asked me to say no? I was talking about abandoning Rand and running away. But on top of that, he's turning me down, so I don't know. I did something stupid. Those guys too. I always thought Rand was the best. Yes. It was Fade the other day. Even Fade was making a scene. I finally got to the counter with all the voices on my back. Mr. Rand. And? Are you beautiful? You have some sights. Do you want me to give you a family? I don't think so. Nina saw this one. You'll get your own answers if you lead me from where I've been, from what Mem says and does now. I brought him here because he wasn't a bad one. Hey, wait a minute, please. Mr. Nina ran into the back with a patter. I knew you were more of a Mem than I thought you were. Instead, you reacted strangely. Well, I don't see how hostile you've been. Right. I didn't know what it was like for the Alliance, but at least it didn't seem like it was unquestioned. I'm sorry about both of you. Come here. I ended up being invited to the reception room behind the counter. In a way, this is also a status for the adventurers. It's called to this room because it's a trusted presence that can be given special assignments by the Alliance, as well as the prerogatives of the National War Class, A rank and S rank. So we were to get another glance of envy on our backs, but we both headed to the reception room. Come here. What, Gillen? Long time no see. Land. It was Guildmaster Gillen, waiting in the reception room. Large body, scratchy face, worked out body. It's hard to tell who's not alone at first sight when a man with the style of the mighty. Well, let's apologize first. You wouldn't have been dying if I'd stayed strong. I'm sorry. I was bowing my head early when I met him. 33033, face Gillen, who bowed his head again. No. Are you doing better than that? At an S-rank party under your jurisdiction, whether you're in a position to worry about anger or not. But, thanks to Sir Sim, It's not a question of naming the country. It would be frightening to think that I would have given the Brave certificate first. Sir Sim, you're the borderline boss who rules the area. What happens to the Fades? Oh, but it's an S-rank party. I'm sorry, but I can't deport you. No, I didn't ask for that. Be discreet for a moment. The party is maintained, but only Roy could have seen it already. I'll dispose of it soon. Disposal, or, in retrospect, it was certainly a story where Roig's words and actions at the last guild could be a problem. Deprive me of my license. Naturally, I can't even go back to the Knights. I even think it's good to have him when this happens anymore. What do you mean? Neither myself nor the lid. If you say it the way you do, well, it's a tail cut. Dude, is it good? That's the way I put it. It's bad for you, but I can't take much care of it. And there's a burden on the country that pushed us on about this guy. Let me use it for good. I see. I guess there's no choice about Roig. Instead, I'm glad it was put away in a way that makes Roig's negligence stand out. Quira in particular is the face of the church. I guess it's hard to crush Ments. The other three would be, well, downgraded to A-rank parties. That's all. I look at this one with sorrow. Gillen. I don't care. But it's going to be hard for those three to be as active as ever. I pinched my mouth while Mr. Nina served me tea. When I looked next to him, I had a worm and eyes that swelled my cheeks like squirrels. Surprisingly, I thought you'd been waiting quietly. Is that what you mean? Ha, ha. This is different, right? You're not, are you? I don't know what the difference is, but I guess not if it's different in person. I decided not to see it and went back to it. Can't the three of us be active? Well-arranged adventurers, individually. Fade is an A-rank equivalent swordsman alone. It's the top potential of each organization up to the other two. The next S rank. Well, I was supposed to be the lead candidate for Sage and Virgin. Right. But Mr. Nino cut it off. It would be nice if each of the three of them could perform best, but there's no doubt they won't. I assure you. And Gillen had also indicated his agreement. I guess so. Decent avant-garde and party aid. We can't do this ourselves. There's too much work. And now the top adventurer to lend these guys a hand. Well, no, because the matter of leaving Mr. Rand is no longer an open secret. People stronger than them do not choose them, and people weaker than them do not approach them for fear of the rumors. I see. Well, we can only hope to realize that we're missing ourselves. So, should we get down to business? Gillen got her place right. 34034. Stop eating Mem2 to go with it and stretch your spine. Number. Were you still eating? You used to have so many tea treats. Well, I'll see you first. A fairly high-ranking demonic tribe from what I've seen. To tell you the story. Vampires, that's royalty too, isn't it? You have eyes to see. Exactly. Vampire Road. You brought a hell of a lot. Gillen had his head. Oh, my god. Did you get hit by cuteness and become a family member? If you're family, you can't even have this silver spoon. Tell while holding a teaspoon. So is that. Me and him are buddies. Mim highlighting his fellow citizens. It doesn't have to be a family member. It's a contract. What have you done to this girl? Gillen had the best question, and I was just thinking about it. I'm not sure why I was nostalgic. Well, okay. Hey, sorry to all of you guys, but it would help if you lay low in your qualities. Because, well, I don't mind. There's no weakness as a general vampire, and if there's a problem, it's about wings. Well, I got this, too, and if I put it well, I'll deceive you. After all, vampires for humans. Well, some people care, especially since there are a lot of people in the country. That's complicated. I'm surrounded by people who say they're scary for Myram, and I have to think on Myram's side. So, when I got back, I asked Rand for something. Maybe this is just the right story. Just right? What? You should show the vampires to the people you're afraid of. I don't know how to turn vampires against your enemies. How comfortable it is to be on your side. Don't have a bad feeling. That would mean it's a nasty request. Sir Sim, this is an immediate request. It would be honorable if it were immediate, but it is definitely troublesome for that matter. As expected, the request was outrageous. Investigation of the Dragon's Graveyard, and if there is a problem, deal with it. Dragon's Graveyard. Dragon's Graveyard. They weren't familiar with Mim. 35035. A giant dragon wreck crusaded by brave men is asleep in the northern corner of the mountains. Explain to Mim. Wasn't dragons a good material for humans? Why did you leave it like that? The question of Mim is best. Gillen took over the answer for me. I was too big. If it weren't for now, Even the dragon breed opponent, an adventurer with the power to defeat it, would be able to bring it. The brave men of the time didn't have the skill to do that either. Not to mention big enough to wonder if this is even current technology. I was a little bit different. As a result, the remains of the dragon, abandoned until it decayed, were left intact in the land. Now the dragon's bones are no longer part of the terrain, and the enormous magic of the dragon is disturbing, surrounded by a land of death that neither grows grass nor trees. The cleric was distracted on a regular basis. The highest clergy in the land is practically cautious. You mean queerer? That's why you had a white feather arrow. I see. Well, sure, except for the virgin apprentice, I'd be the best fit. But one thing caught on. The investigation is good, but I can't promise you anything until we solve the problem. Shit, I don't even realize how thin it is. So I told you I should be honest with you. Mr. Nina can hold back. I knew there was something behind it. I don't have a choice. Don't tell me anything else about this story, okay? Mim, are you okay? You're the only one I talk to. So is that. So take a listening attitude. Recently, the dragon's graveyard has been wrapped up in an unprecedented temporary tracing the guild's records. Are you sure there are anomalies already? Worst case scenario, this request. Oh, it will be a request for a dragon zombie crusade. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. It was Mim who reacted first. That's funny. Mim was somehow glowing the color of his eyes. By the way, if your opponent is a dragon zombie, can Mim win? It's just a judgment from what I've heard. But I can't do it alone. It's too big. Then, you said you were alone, right? I figured it out because I fought directly. No problem with you. I think it's overrated. I'm telling you because I think Ran would be okay, too. If you become a dragon zombie on a boulder, give him your guild and the Crusaders will make it. Only time you guys fight alone is when you're really lucky or bad. Right. Mr. Rand will be fine. Where do you have such a basis? Because both Gillen and Nina have quite the right place. If you need anything, I'll do something for you. Please. I also think Mim could do something about it. Suppose I try to believe it. All right. We're done talking. And then, Mr. Mim should sign up as an adventurer too, right? Adventurer. Can I be too? Of course it is. We don't discriminate against other races. A glittering worm of eyes looks at this one and says, you didn't throw away humans, either. Well, it would have been nice if you liked it. I was gonna do this because I'm one of them originally. But let's not say that. 36036. Hey, that Ran guy, he looks like a rookie. As soon as Ran's one gets out of the party, he's such a cutie. But Rand was at the S-rank party as well, and you're willing to re-raise him? Well, you can't bring a kid to follow you all of a sudden, can you? So now we're going to see how you're doing? For some reason there was a gallery in the guild's training ground. You're hot. You heard me somewhere. That dialogue. Let's just say Mim hasn't shown a bare gesture that he cares about. So, what do? Attack that target with your own means of attack, as the registration test asks for a simple output. Nina explained to me by pointing to the sphere floating behind the training ground. I thought I'd keep going, but Mim looked back and whispered to me like this. Hey, what? Somehow, I know you shouldn't break that. Mim, surprisingly, has a human understanding. Shut up. So, to what extent should I do it? Right. Full power breaks. Enough to confirm the identity. I guess I can break it if I try. It's a physical attack. That's easy to imagine. That magic is a lot of vampire-specific heterogeneity. Because minotaurs blow up with decopins. Do you have any weapons or anything? You have a knife to pass on to the clan. Then let's do it. If it breaks, it means it's the weapon. I see. You're not smart. Mim removes the knife from their coffin of darkness, so the audience doesn't see it. Are you ready? Yes. Well, go ahead, whenever you want. Mim set up a knife as the adventurers around him watched. I knew you didn't bring a user from somewhere. It's a knife. Magic. If I could have made a long-range attack, I might have used it. But that knife is a business. I don't know if you've asked me to take care of a lady from some country. The Rand one. This is how the gallery was rated. You'll lose your temper after this, even though you blame your weapon. Though I don't know how much Myram would relieve me. While doing so, Mim was slowly coming to the front of the target. Let's go. In the next moment I set up. The target had already been finely cut. Is that it? There was a cold sweat on Mim's face. You were brittle than I thought. No, it doesn't usually happen that way. Nina, wasn't that a little old? What? Oh, yes, I was. Perhaps there was some damage before, but for the time being, I would rate it as the highest B rank, just like Mr. Rand. I'm glad Mr. Nina talked to me. However, the gallery sprang to an unusual measure when newcomers could suddenly take requests for B ranks. Awesome. Hey, did you see that? You're talking about that was old, right? Don't you happen to be? So you, let me bring you an old target and you're freaking out? Whatever. He's a big rookie. Damn it. You fucked the Rand one. You're such a beauty. I can't believe you found a mate. He was a mim with a hurried face, but he was good at laughing after he realized he could handle it. 37037. Former party perspective. Did you hear that? It's a dragon graveyard. Roig screams. Dragon graveyard. Fade looked up at Roig, who had returned to the inn. This is where Rand's assholes are headed next. We're going to. We are practically cautious. But if it works, I can return the stigma. Fade. The party is awaiting disposal. It should not have been possible to imitate it on its own right now if the custom had been followed. We talked about investigating dragon graveyards, but if you think about what's going on lately, you know what I mean. Dragon's Graveyard is one of the notable places for S-rank parties. Everyone, including Roig, knows about it. Guildmaster Gillen stopped talking, but that is only a pretense to make the information credible. Hi, things have been weird lately, haven't they? Over there. Right. Rumor has it that the dragon zombie is back. But that would be every year, wouldn't it? Dragon graveyards, dragon zombie rumors are stories of outfits for people seeking inspiration. As Fade put it, it is to go up to the story as it does every year. But that means Roig brought it on purpose. Oh, this isn't a rumor level. If the dragon zombie is resurrected, she will need the help of Quira the Virgin. Is that me? The Supreme Cleric was a good presence for the crusade of dragon zombies if Quira was to be expected to serve as the Virgin. If I hadn't caused any problems at the moment, this investigation request could have come down to the party with Quira. Fade, are you okay with this? Running around Fade's head is childhood humiliation. Numerous memories of not being able to beat Rand turn my head. It should be noted that the difference was brutally obvious given the appearance of the two parties. In case Dragon Zombie comes back, we'll need Quira's power. There's no way Rand can win it alone. But the girl that I was with was also quite. What if you're weak? Dragon zombies? If I leave you alone, the country will be in trouble. It would be honorable, wouldn't it? Quella is reluctant but no longer a flow that can be changed by herself. Everyone, trouble. Male told him to go after him. Is everyone? You'd be the only one who could defeat a dragon zombie? Roig pushes caution. Quella also worried for a while and then decided to be ready. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. Let's go. Fade gets up. All right. Now we'll make the Alliance understand our need. Fade, we have a policy for the party. It was only after 4 people had already left that Roig's disposition was decided and a messenger came to tell him about the license stripping. 38038. Okay, let's go. Mim's fragmentation of the target had instantly become a rumor of the adventurers. It's just, well, thanks to the cuteness of the look and my topicality ahead of me, there were no rumors that I was like a vampire or a demon, so let's just say, well, that's right. If you don't even get into combat mode, you usually just look like a cute human being. You're gonna have arms. I wonder how big it is. No, why would we fight? Because we're just going to investigate. Please, Mim. Nah, I don't mind knocking you down. Right. We look forward to working with you. Give me a break. That's how I decided to leave to be sent out to Mr. Nina and Gillen. The aim is a dragon graveyard. Does Mim fly when he travels? Well, it's not going to be out of magic as long as it's flown, so that's okay. But you're not really good for traveling. Really? Yeah. It's easier to go on the ground if you're going some distance. Anyway, I see. Is that so? I need more information than that. Previous information, sleeping dragons, dragon graveyards, and how to request an investigation. I see. I'm going from the easy one to answer, but I'm not sure about the request for an investigation. Really? Oh, this is only a reward for what I found out in the investigation. I see. Depending on the value of the information. Well, there are some basic rewards that I can get for just getting away from this. And I need to tell you that I've been looking at the local area at the very least, but it's already a matter of trust around here. So basically, the survey request is divided into a group survey with little basic remuneration and a special survey that is requested with trust. So, dragon graveyards and dragons. This is a famous story we hear from our parents before we go to bed. Just like the legend of our ancestors. Right. That's what brave men talk about for us. Once upon a time, there were dragons to be feared in the surrounding villages. The dragon asked the villagers to sacrifice once a year. If there is no sacrifice, or if the sacrifice is not liked, the village will be relentlessly devastated. When a village that feared it would only begin to treat dragons as gods, worshipping and serving them. One day the dragon stops at an empire that was at random and nearby. The country was not as submissive as a village, naturally against dragons. Is it the brave who worked then? No. The empire and the dragon went to war, but there was no distinguished presence on the empire's side of the war. Really? It's just that before the number of violence, dragons are also full of creation. That's where the brave men showed up. Hey. That's the way to put it. The brave have destroyed the empire with the evil dragon. The brave man was the next sacrifice of the village. The sacrifices gathered from the villages are protected by the continued worship and service of the dragon, and they make a party with considerable power. Originally villages used to threaten the empire more than dragons. In people's eyes the dragon's actions would have been reflected to help themselves. So, why is the dragon dead? They say you've already reached your limits in your war with the empire. And they say you brought your sacrifices into the showdown to keep them from dying. What's that? 'Cause it's a story. The one with all the theories. It was a situation where some dragons were thoroughly portrayed as allies of the village, and others were always portrayed as enemies, as evil dragons. 39039. Whatever it is, the dragon is dead. Instead, we only know that there were dead dragons and empires, and then there were people called brave men. And we don't know about the rest. Sounds appropriate. You don't think so, do you? We were told by our ancestors. But we don't really know what it is. Are the results the same even if there are differences in life expectancy issues? So, about the dragon graveyard. Where can I explain it from? I also gathered information once, so I knew that there was a strange situation, needless to say, with Gillen. I didn't even consider it exactly a crisis of dragon zombie outbreaks. But the rumors themselves were heard as often as usual. It continues to be recognized as a dangerous land that has been overwhelming for a long time. But it's a place where adventurers sometimes go in search of demons that only show up here and medicines that they can get from dragon bones. That's the land that wouldn't have come if it weren't for the S-rank party. It's too intense to cut your strength as deep as the dungeon. Well, you don't know what kind of place you're going after all. That's what I'm talking about. With all that talk, I was kind of happily walking down the road to the dragon graveyard. I didn't come at full speed because I tried all sorts of things that I might not be able to practice flying on the road or use Ray as a means of getting around, but I still earned quite a few moments on the Ray and it wasn't long before I was on the road. Right here. Wow. That's worse than I thought. Really? Oh, I've seen it once, but it wasn't this bad then. When I came before, the light purple aura was enough to wrap around the area, and the view looked beyond. Now I can no longer say it was black enough to cover the area, and from here on out I couldn't even confirm the dragon wreckage. Is there any reason to get more upset? Leaving the corpse of a demonic creature in this way in the first place would be more or less undead, but this kid was forced to hold it back, right? Well, is that what's gonna happen? Though I had no idea I was holding back. Does that mean there's an overflow of what I was holding back? You somehow understand why the Alliance deliberately sent out a request for an investigation. I think it's because the magic I originally had was too strong, but it's still overflowing. You can't leave me on a boulder. A strong undead is created based on that power if the temper becomes stronger. If you were born rich or something, that could be the Demon King class. Let's get our minds together. 40040. Well, you're taking precautions. What Mim pointed out was the magic prob placed by the cleric. I dare you to create a stream of temper and give it to the bodies of weak creatures and demons round here. Doesn't that mean the undead will produce mass? I can be undead because I need some possessive magic and strength. As an original individual, that would just end up melting myself into a breath. I see. That's clever. Just then. Why are you so overwhelmed right now, right? Well, we're running out of dragon possession magic about this, so that's what happens. You're losing it, and it's getting more? The candle strengthens the fire at the end. That's what Kai is like. Then leave this land alone. Will it be alright? If you leave me alone, yeah. If you make a mistake, It's made up of a delicate balance that makes this dragon undead. I'm glad you brought Myram. I was the only one who could report the situation. Is there any way we can do this? Well, the quick thing to do is slap your temper on the dragon and the moment it comes back to life. Rejected. I thought so. I'm here to keep you from doing that, but if I put my hand on it, it's the end of the line. I mean, can you bring your temper to the dragon or something? Oh, are you interested? No, I'm not. Hee. Well, I don't know if I can do it alone, but I can do it with that magic trick. Oh, I see. Originally, if you have any magic props to exasperate you, head to the dragon. So, otherwise, I'm going to need you to pay a little less for this, and then check the status of the dragon, and the elimination of other generations than dragons. Other than dragons, huh? In the unlikely event that even a wise man dies here, you'll have a rich one. Horrible. Well, then, it's an investigation again. Yeah. By the way, the temper is just like the magic of night and darkness. If you get used to it, you can control it. Really? Yes. When I say that, I shake my hands in front of you. Mim pretends to be bare. Only then did my temper split left and right and pave the way. Wow. Whatever it is that reduces or changes the overall flow, this is as soon as possible. I hope so. I went down the path where I lost my temper to follow Myram. 41041. Late former party perspective. Well, even though I could have imagined it with a lot of temper. That's huge. Dragon wreckage. Its facial part alone is about the size of a single dwelling. The whole picture was such a giant dragon that it could be seen. So, in Mim's sight, how long do you keep it? A few decades if you don't do anything extra. So, in a few decades, the dragon's magic will run out, so maybe in 100 years, it'll be just the way it was. Good. In the meantime, I'm going to be able to finish my investigation without a thing. All we have to do is see if there's anyone else around here. I think I can help you with that. Walk a few times through the necromance directed at the range and you can also demystify dead demons and stray animals around you. If there's a reaction, we can go there and take care of the body. Let's go around. Yes, the investigation of the dragon's graveyard went well through the temper that paved the way just to hold hands again. Sometime after the lands arrived, 4 adventurers stepped into the dragon's graveyard. Damn. What the fuck is Rand's thing? Is that Fenrir? Stupid. That dog should have been just a horny wolf. Existential evolution. Is it? Legendary Tamer also has something to promote the evolution of demons. You idiot. It's not like Rand's a legendary Tamer. The perception of 4 people, especially Roig's head, that Rand was unusable as a miscellaneous fish, was creeping away. No. We can't exactly change that perception, because as soon as we acknowledge that, we will be able to poke at the error of judgment we made then. Anyway, to the dragon. I have to check first. Heck, I hope the Rand bastard hasn't done anything extra. But you're unmatched when he came here before. If Quero had been officially asked, she asks herself if she could have been distracted. There was no answer. Quello a while ago might have given you an exact answer, but for her now, acknowledging it, doing it, was too unacceptable for her, and for the pride of the organization she carried. The answer that sprouted deep in her breasts was, I can be completely distracted if you bring some clerics, not just myself. The room to rely on people for her now was no longer in many ways. Come on, let's go. I'm in front of you. Now you're not late. Wait Roig. The farther you go, the more you lose sight of it. That's why you're telling me you're not late. Ooh. Queera and Male managed to keep up with Roig, who didn't even listen to Fade stop. Proceed in the form of Fade. In contrast to the lands, an unstable dragon graveyard investigation was opening the curtain. 42042 Former party perspective. Well, let's do it right. Hey Queera? Dragon wreckage. Roig says as he casually slaps that huge skull with a bang. Roig, what are you going to do? The only purpose I've come here for should be to investigate. Even so, it was not as if Roig had come to investigate. Oh, Fade. Think about our situation now. Situation. You know what? Because of that fucking miscellaneous fishland, we're no longer in danger of being disqualified from the S-rank party. No way. Roig's words were an unlikely story to take to Fade. No. He didn't want to think about it and he was getting rid of it from his head. It had now finally come to my attention that I had deliberately ruled out that possibility from my head. Whatever Fade is, Roig can't be an adventurer anymore. Russell, I don't think we can do much without the avant-garde, didn't I? Fade thinks silently. As Male put it, he was naturally aware that Roig's position was at stake. But on the other hand, there was a part of me that looked sweet that I was okay without Roig. If you can be asked to stand around protecting the two of you as an avant-garde in the absence of any land that was up front, albeit in time, you can't exert enough power first. Both of you will be. I knew painfully in that dungeon I tried to get out of without Rand that I couldn't reach enough potential with a volatile avant-garde. Whatever it was, even on the road until we got here, it was so much in the wings that we were forced to struggle on so many different occasions. I was on the road being kept aware of Rand's presence even though I didn't like it, including non-combat chores. Fade has done the chores willingly. That was also, for one thing, to keep party members from recognizing Rand's need. I know what's going on, but what's going on? Damn. You are true. I don't like it. I would still have stopped B ranking. Knock. Fade knew too. The technology of that hand to run up the ranks was overwhelmingly in Roig, so much so that the timing was deliberately delayed in order to select the request to increase the evaluation, the priority of achieving the request, and sometimes the results. That was a wisdom that Fade didn't have, and it was a means by which Fade alone didn't even think about doing it. With this hesitation, the lead was entirely shifting from leader Fade to Roig. 43043 Former party perspective. Okay, if we don't do this already, we're gonna end up with a catastrophic monster. Each party member thinks differently about this point. The strongest sense of crisis among them is Roig. I know what happens after this on my own. That is why, despite the situation of caution, we desperately gathered information, burned our people, and now we have just finally found the tail of disaster. Mail was honest, good for both. To the extent that I have somewhat of a feeling about Rand, who just declined his invitation. If you go back to the organization, you still have a place of your own where you've been treated like a genius. Still, the technology over there isn't far enough to be honed in action. But it's only a little better for me to repeat this experiment in my current environment than to do research every day in my organization. That's all. I have no choice. The next thing Roig feels at stake is Fade. Soon, number. Is it always the way it is? Being made a difference by Rand was more than anything disturbing Fade's mind. Wait. No way. You all went out of your way to do this disastrous demon. It was up to my position to haunt Quera, the church's proud supreme cleric. My status, which has come to be called the Virgin of Miracles, makes the present disposition unacceptable. But on the other hand, there is a conscience in her, including about Rand. Rather, she's the most, no, the only one with a conscience at this party. However, due to his own position, which is constantly attached, he sometimes behaves differently. Lowering your rating is lowering your church rating. Naturally, I don't think it's a good idea to stay like this. So Roig followed him in there. You're leaving your name as the cruel, lowest virgin ever to abandon your people like this? Or do we consolidate here the status of the miracle virgin in both disaster class, hero who defeated the greatest dragon zombie of all time, and fame? You're the one who chooses. It's what came to Quera's mind was the faces of the sisters who raised themselves in the church, and they were young orphans who admired themselves. What they admire is themselves as the Virgin. And now, impudently, it is as if their expectations, have not been met. Roig is right. My identity virtually collapses if I don't salvage it here. Such a sense of crisis has dispelled her last remaining conscience. 44044 Former party perspective. I'll do it. Whatever. It's not gonna be a big deal after hundreds of years anyway. Now I can tell you that Rand woke me up. Can you? Quera. Yes. I have no problem waking you up. Indeed. Roig is right that it has not been a major problem since many years. That's what happened. It's just big. It's out of sight. Hands on the device installed by the cleric by Quera, as he poses as he prays. He flows into the dragon's wreckage to be sucked in with a whirling temper all around him. How long till it's over? The mood needed to become a dragon zombie is soon enough. And then it'll take a little while to wake up. Right. All right, let's get ready for battle. I think this is almost all right. The work is really done in just a few moments. Seeing with Quera's eyes, I just thought I'd already been given enough Kai to revive the dragon zombie. Suddenly Quera screamed, distorting her expression. What's up, Quera? I've been deprived of control of my temper. What is this? So strong? A distressed expression appeared on the query, which had already accomplished its purpose, but which nevertheless became a form of magical interference. Shit. You mean you got in the way? You can see us now. I know. Hey Queera. I guess this will bring you back to life. Ha. Yes. Okay. Then it's good. Roig never seemed to mind the painfully groaning Queera. Male also does only pale things that are necessary for the current situation. I lost sight of the four of them. Turn off the signs yourself. And then we'll leave right here. But what about dragon zombies? There's a land nearby, isn't there? You should go where Rand's miscellaneous fish got hit. Roig's face is brutally distorted. It's as strong as that, isn't it? Huh? Yes. I don't think Mr. Rand can win alone. Then you're just fine. Everything is as you wish. The four of us at this time didn't think we were going to lose to dragon zombies, nor did we think we were going to lose to Rand. At least not on Roig's head, such as the fact that Rand defeated Minotaur. No, not exactly. I didn't believe it from the beginning. Though Male and Quella also felt in a better position than Fade to diagnose a turnaround, their past memories about the strength of Rand remained strong. Now I will help, Mr. Rand. The four hearts had been so ugly and distorted that I really thought about that. 45045. You got away. Running away. When they told me that and I got off to the ground, surely no one had any more signs of people. So much so that even the magic marks are gone. I thought I was here earlier, but it's quite advanced magic. Who the hell? No, it would be more about the dragon than that. I feel like I saw it. Are you okay? No, it was an unchanged dragon wreck if only it looked like it, but it seemed to Merm's eyes in a different way. I'm breathing too much air. Maybe already enough to be a dragon zombie. How can I hit you now? When this happens, I can only keep my breathing temper as low as possible. Dragon zombies are already born. Seriously. The moment you wake up from sleep, it's like showing up in the world with shapes. So you just have to tap it the minute you wake up. What are you looking at? As early as a few minutes later, you don't have time to form a crusade. We're gonna have to do this together. Look at the real thing. You think you can take it down? Right. Maybe we don't even need to knock him out, huh? Consolidate into unexpected words. You won't be able to live that long when she wakes up. Really? I thought the undead system was characterized by not dying once they were born, but they didn't. Left unattended for too long, and no symbolic body left behind. Is this bone no good? What do you think would happen if I really hit you? He asks, pointing to the dragon wreck. Well, considering it's already worn out in appearance, don't break it. Yes, this is useless anymore. Mormon continues, as a dragon zombie, you'll probably try to make this body dependent, but it won't last long. If the summoned soul is exhausted, it will be over. Maybe we can handle this alone. It is probably 30 minutes for a bone to be assumed to be Yidong. Let it go. But there's only one nearby city left to die. I guess that won't work. But 30 minutes. That's all you can do, even if you can't take it down? We can only be in a precarious spiritual state if we don't even have a dependent. When that happens, it's your turn, huh? Necromance. Wouldn't it be convenient to have a dragon? Mim was starting a preparatory movement as he said so mildly. No, hey, me. Am I going to necromance this guy? 46046. Go. Are you here? There was movement on the dragon wreck I was observing. No, it's making a huge difference involving the whole dragon graveyard to be exact. It involved the surrounding woods and rocked the land around it. Okay, I'll do it. After Myram gets up and stares at the dragon's wreckage, he immediately looks back and calls out to us. Remember properly? What Mem means is skill, black fog, and King of the Night, especially how to use black fog. Only unique skills are difficult to handle, because there's so much you can do with one skill, you can't use it with your senses. I'm glad you told me one by one. Have you managed to remember the fogging? Well done. The priority of this attack is not to die and not to allow dragon zombies to reach the city. I had a lecture on how to use my unique skills to go with it, as the most user-friendly defensive skill of all. It would be a great gain to have been able to obtain fogging, using black fog. It was a good skill from me to the point where I literally missed my own body and disable physical attacks for a certain amount of time. Now it's only part of my abilities. Horrible. Unique skills, 30 minutes. Being as attentive as possible and standing around not dying. Okay. Tighten yourself up, dragon zombie. That's also the biggest opponent of all time. By contrast, it's just the two of us. Even though you don't need to knock them out of the front, if you move on to the city, that virtually means losing. 30 minutes is more than enough time to destroy one city for the creatures to come. The change happened as soon as Mim screamed. The dragon's skeleton is wrapped in purple light and huge magic begins to swirl around, and a shivering roar with billies and surrounding scenery struck the dragon's graveyard. A being powerful enough to rock the trees around you by the ground just by roaring. A body that should have been trembling with a growl, but that trembling never stops after the growl subsides. This is their dragon zombie, as Mim sees it. A monster who looked vicious to see his remaining bones in his generation was showing up. Of course, the bones don't have everything for every part. As a result of forcing the missing part to be compensated for by magic and temper, gray and cloudy purple flesh was intertwined with the protruding bone, producing an alien demon. The horrors of appearance go hand in hand, or my body stopped listening to me. 47047. I try to move my rigid body somehow, but I can't keep my eyes off the alien dragon in front of me. Dragon zombie claws flying at me like that are approaching the present. Gumo, Oa. I played those nails so Ray and Ace could get in between. Thanks. The two growls bounce back the dragon zombie growl as they are. Thanks to this, my body is finally moving freely. Dragon zombie attacks were still hitting me after I played the first shot, but I immediately fog them and attack them. Oh, it was a sudden battle in action, but I'm glad it worked. Though it feels strange to slip through your body. Current skills are superior to intimidation, compatibility. Be careful when you come back. Thanks. That's all Mim says. He spreads his wings quickly and jumps up. At the same time it overflowed so much that black magic covered the circumference of the Mim. I'll show you that the magic of night and darkness is not just yours. The moment Dragon Zombie and Mim's gaze meet, eat it. Black magic pervades Mim's body. As it was, its black mass of magic poured down on Dragon Zombies like thunder. It's working. Don't be alarmed. Perform freshly remembered fogging as soon as the voice of the Mim is received. It was dangerous. The dragon zombie tail was cleaving my misty body in two. Now to the extent that I finally let the target move here. You don't have to think about knocking them down. 30 minutes. No, if you let them consume their magic, they'll be shorter, so we'll go for it. I'd say that Mim, who's overwhelmingly stronger than me, doesn't intend to take him down, represents the strength of a dragon zombie. By the way, fogging is a magic attack. It depends on the stuff, but that hardly works. Seriously, and for some reason I told him that. Mim seemed to enjoy it. He had a full smile as he continued to hit the dragon zombie with flashy magic. Is that it? He said it was sealed, and he was accumulating depression. I think so. I'm really glad you couldn't come with this momentum when you fought me. Shut up. Of course, the dragon zombies are not keeping silent about Mim's attacks. I said a little tail, a nail, a bite. Physical attacks are launched, but they are all bounced off by Myram's magic before it reaches Myram. Didn't you need me for this? Your mouth is empty. Mim's magic was still in the mouth of a dragon zombie who was still trying to bite me again. 48048. That's an easy win mood. I just felt some leeway, and there's a change in the dragon zombie movement. You felt bad about the minute the dragon zombie flipped. You've done too much. What if I'm telling you, Thunderlight? I got my hands on it. Of course. Mim thinks something better. Yes, but I'll do what I can. The elusive look on the dragon zombie still gives some surprise. Black clouds enveloped the sky when lightning was activated. The dragon zombie, bewildered by the clouds that appeared to inhibit his way, only delayed his response for that bewildering minute. Thunder strikes the giant. Looks like the boulder was damaged somewhat. That's the magic of a boulder sage. Don't do it. Mim will take over if you buy time like this even for a moment. Until then, however, the easy winning mode did not seem to be maintained. Hey! He's finally going to get a little serious. Once again the inverted dragon zombie had a different atmosphere from what it had been until then. Have you ever been tempted? He suspiciously lets the purple light shine through his eyes and drifts a Moyan-like aura of black-purple from all over his body like the aftermath of it. I guess you didn't want to lose your magic rather than your temper. I see. Loss of magic reduces activity time. I didn't like it, so until now, you've only had to physically attack me. This is where it comes from. Mim laughing fun. By the way, What does this guy move for? Undead's principles of conduct are basically said to be untrained. But there must be no empire for this undead dragon. Is it the hatred of people that's rubbing in? I see. You think I'm better suited than Myram? That's why you turned to me in my attack. Coming immediately after Mim's voice, Dragon Zombie's eyes show suspicious light. The next moment, become, Garku, Night Coffin, Ray, Ace. You geese stay in there until you're cured. Hear what you have to say right away and hide yourself while the two look worried. Good. If we had any time lags, we would have been in danger to each other. Excellent user demon and helpful. The next moment the two disappeared. Countless muscles of purple light were popping out of the body of a dragon zombie. 49049. What is this? Like bathed forest trees were rotting in an instant, causing a huge explosion where the light would subside. Such a vicious light emits the body of a dragon zombie in all directions to its starting point. Me and Murmur managed to do everything, but this attack caused unexpected damage. Become, was there anyone in the woods? Question mark. Not if you care now. Mim is right. Besides, that attack won't even have healing magic right now. There's nothing I can do where I went. Inevitable, is that? That's a kind of brace. But unlike regular dragons, it's an instant death attack. So, is that's the real brace. Black-purple light overflowed the mouth of a dragon zombie with a large mouth open in the air. Straight ahead, the spear is aimed at getting sucked into me. Die. In an instant, previous memories ran through my head. It's called a horse racing light. This. Desperately rotate your head in the sloppy scenery. Avoidance is impossible. The dragon's mouth is the same size as that bone. I can't make it now. Fogging number. I was just told that often doesn't work for magic. King of the Night. It's the power to turn the magic of night and darkness into bats and other demons. But I don't think doing that will prevent that attack. Ray and Ace will only cause more damage. Night Coffin. Seals. I have no hitter. At the next moment, it moved as if world time had returned to its original. I could see the immense death brace released from the mouth of a dragon zombie approaching as if swallowing every surrounding view. It was a short life. I wonder what you're finishing up on your own is. Strangely enough, brace never got to me. There's a mim on the ray. No. I might say it was a mill. A condition like the majority of your body was taken for each protruding left arm. He wore it out so much that it overlapped with what a dragon zombie looked like. He was protecting me. Why? You're an idiot. Who do you think I am? Vampires. The apex of the undead. The meaning of the immortal king. I put it around my eyes again. King of the night. Short. Just saying so. Myriad bat-like black shadows tucked around Mim's body. And, yes, as usual. Are you alright? Though I distorted my face for a moment, its appearance was certainly back to that of the original Mim. 50050. It's outrageous magic. No, I wouldn't. Mim himself is outrageous, and I was surprised that you put that extraordinary power on me to protect me. Myram, scared of humans, did it for me, like no other. Are you alright? That was the only word I got out of Mim. I can tell by facial expression that even Mim is not intact. Normally, I would have been exposed to an imminent death attack because I'm weak. But I thought it would be different to apologize here. So let's confirm this surprise and complicated thought at some other time. Focus on what's right in front of you now. Oh, thanks. Are you okay over there? I'm not saying it's intact on a boulder. If that's intact, we'll talk about how to take it down in case another vampire lord becomes an enemy. Something tells me if I look at the current Mim, the dragon zombie will look cute no more. No. There's no substitute for something overwhelmingly superficial for me. Well, the magic you had in there is going to come to a bottom. Then, yeah, wouldn't that be a good practice? King of the Night, I'll block the way. You're with me. Oh, King of the Night. Mim uses it like healing magic, but the principle is unknown. All I can do is simply show up something much like a bat that doesn't know if it's a black demon or something. Mim's countless bats narrowed down its area of activity while holding back dragon zombies. Do it. Learn from Myram. I'll expand, King of the Night, around dragon zombies too. The bats released from my source were added, and a black shadow trapped the miraculous dragon zombie. No use. I rolled out the braces from all over my body that I released first, but they were all swallowed up by black vortexes and disappeared. Awesome. Mim. Whatever you want, to, right? No. It's mostly Mim, isn't it? Hee hee. Not yet. The body of a dragon zombie collapses while we have that conversation. Sounding painfully, the unnatural grey body loses its power and the incomplete bones that were making it fall to the ground. Mim looks at me. So that's enough. Gah! Sounds like a painful dragon zombie. Identifying its nucleus. What I see now is only the provisional first entity. The undead will not be born unless the soul remains. Towards that soul, I quietly activated my skills. Necromance. Successful necromance of the Ancient Dragon Grand Menace. Ancient Dragon Grand Menace is now available for service. That voice was echoing in my head as it signaled the end of the fight against dragon zombies.